rush of your charm, like Hanoi's old streets. You keep pulling me in. I crave you like morning fur, can't let you go. Tell myself I'll slow down, but my heart says no. I got a problem and I'll fix it. Riding through sight on your face in my mind. No way I can quit, though I know I should try. I'm lost in the thought of you, and I know this much is true. Baby, you're my coffee addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, sweetest rush. Dream of you by the Saigon River every single night. Your smile's like the lanterns glowing in Hoi An's light. No, I should stay grounded, but you're pulling me high. My heart's on a motorbike, chasing you till I fly. I got a problem, and I'll fix it. Riding through the markets, your voice in my head. No way I can quit, though I know I should try. I'm lost in the thought of you, and I know this much is true. Baby, you're my buy me a midnight addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, sweetest rush. Ain't no doubt, doubt. So caught up, oh, ain't no doubt. So caught up over you, over you. Because of you. And it's all because of you. Never get enough. You're my sweetest right, and I know this much is true. You, baby, you, hey, you. I'm on me calm sunset addiction. I'm so caught up in you, can't find my way, but I love it. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough. And it's all because of you, all because of you. And it's all because of you, all because of you. Never get enough, my sweetest rush. And it's all because of you. And it's all because of you. And it's all because of you. Never get enough. You're my sweetest rush. All we do is chase the road, baby. All we do is chase the road, yeah.
Yeah, Vietnam's got my heart, girl. Let's ride till the sun comes up. Pat my back, hit the streets, I know it's calling me. Motorbike through the chaos, your smile's my only key. From Saigon's neon lights to Hoi An's lantern glow. Every mile I'm with you, girl, that's all I need to know. Riding through the rice fields, wind in my face is true. Every turn, every town, I'm lost in thoughts of you. Phone stalls at midnight, we share a bowl, no plans. Yeah, your laugh's my compass, guiding me through this land. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. From the delta to the hills we go. All we do is live this nomad life. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. Every night another town we flow. All we do is live this nomad life. Long bay at sunrise, your eyes outshine the sea. Backpack's light, but miles heavy when you're next to me. The lights, misty trails, we're dancing in the rain. No roots, no chains, just you and me, no pain. Street vendors calling out, buying sell civils low. We share a fleeting moment, then it's time to hit the road. From Campos floating markets to his ancient walls. You're my adventure, baby, you're my reason for it all. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. From the delta to the hills we go. All we do is live this nomad life. All we do is roam, yeah. All we do is chase the road, yeah. Every night another town we flow. All we do is live this nomad life. Running wild, no stopping now. Motorbike vibes through every town. Cafe soda, sipping slow. You're my home, no matter.
Drop it. We don't even have a camera. OBS visual camera. What about OHB? All right, boys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It's good to... How you guys like my camera? Don't be racist. Give me a sec here. There it is. Welcome back. So it is raining like a mother. So we are not going out there. I was actually going to go out and do a, we were going to go to the River Beach thing and do like a live stream there. One of my friends has a restaurant just across the street. It's like a little pizza joint. And I was going to kick it there with them. Or at least by myself. He's probably going to jump in here and there, but it is raining so bad. Like, it's pretty bad. It's the roads are flooding all over the place. So here we are. So how you guys doing, man? So I thought we'd jump into some stuff today live here. The idea there was we were going to talk about Cambodia a little bit. What is this? We got to talk about this guy. But with that, I guess I can't. So we're just going to look at other shit. How about that? Other shit, says David. So welcome back. Let's get in it, man. It's been a weird week in, what the fuck? A weird week in Vietnam. There's been a lot of changes. Cambodia is starting to do a few things too. And Thailand. Well, I'm starting to think Asia, like, and this isn't like towards the West, because I know a lot of people have this idea of like, get rid of the foreigners, they're ruining Asia. If you are like this, or you know somebody like this, they're just no good. Like, they're typically ignorant people. But with that being said, it sounds like these three countries, I just said Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam, they're really cracking down on immigration issues. And when I was talking to some friends in Vietnam about this, and I have a couple police immigration friends out here in Cambodia now that I've made friends with, which is a good thing to do. And a friend of mine, he's a lawyer in Thailand, they all kind of said the same thing. This really seems like it's focusing around China. They're having issues with immigration there. And I was looking through the news and stuff like that. This is like a month ago, but even Japan is starting to push back on their tourist visa setup. And the prime minister's really isolating it down to just horrible Chinese tourists and disrespect and yada, 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 right? Breaking trees to take a selfie, which is what a lot of them do, unfortunately. And we're going to kind of talk about that too, because one thing about, one thing about Asia, or Chinese and Vietnamese tourists are some of the most notoriously hated tourists in Asia. Seriously. If you ask any Asian person, pick a country, what tourist pisses you off the most? It's almost always going to come out as Vietnam or China. It always is. We'll talk a little about that too. I was watching this video. One of my Vietnamese friends sent this to me. And the behavior that I saw in this video, you might as well just made them Vietnam. You might as well change the title of Vietnamese tourists and change the language. Like, you wouldn't know the difference at all. No smoking, but they're smoking. No food signs, but they bring their own food. Fucking pushing through everything in Japan. Like, it's such a crazy thing. So, whatever. I'm just a racist. I got called a racist yesterday in an email. Said I was a bigoted, white trash, something. I replied, why? That was it, just why. Came back, look how you talk about Asia. He started clipping a bunch of my videos. So if I say something bad about something, it's racist now. Vietnam's pretty dirty. You're a racist. I was in Malaysia, right? I go to the Hindu temples. Some of the dirtiest temples I've ever seen in Asia are Hindu temples. I'm a racist now, right? Vietnamese are disrespectfully dirty and borderline act uncivilized a lot of the time. I'm a racist. China is notoriously known in Asia as the worst tourist group in Asia next to Vietnam. Oh, I'm a racist, right? It's such a weird thing. Anyways, let's get into some of these comments and shit. Can you guys see this? I'm getting messaged by a bunch of people. Hold on. You know, this reminds me. Hold on, let me bring this up here. So I've shared with you guys before, like, my health app that I use. Like, I've been building this. If you guys want to use it, go to oh my god, I feel like I got a mosquito bite. HarunoFitness.com. Check this out. It's free. I'm probably gonna make this forever free or something like that. Also below it is the Vietnam travel guide. It's all this shit's free. I'm not trying to sell anything now. I can't even sell a car. Okay. You know how easy it is to sell a car to some sucker? I can't even manage a cell. No, I'm playing. I was actually one of the better ones. I used to work as a car salesman when I was at university. I was doing my, what do you call it? Freshman, sophomore year, right? You know, as a community college out in Washington. And I worked at this dealership. You know, the best thing about the dealership was you could take any fucking car you wanted. So when you guys wonder when I talk about driving Lambos and Rolls Royces and all this and that, I wasn't an influencer like Andrew Tate. I just actually got to drive these cars. But I will say some of my favorite cars, let me think. I had a lot of fun in the Mitsubishi. You know, like the Eclipse, it looks like the egg. I think they discontinued that. Like, it was an ugly fucking car. But dude, it was fun to drive. Jesus, was it fun. It was like a Lotus on crack. Or heavy crack. What was the other one? The Aventador, that was one of my favorites, but they actually watched us on that car. So, like, fun story. I hope they're not watching this. I doubt they are. But I had to actually call my friends from school to come. Like, I'm talking like some of my professors. I had an engineer professor of mine. He was a genius at computer science. And I was like, yo, can you come to the dealership, say you want to buy this motherfucker? Why? Because I can't just drive it without a customer in it. Okay. So we ended up doing like a 45-minute Lambo drive around Tacoma. It was so fun, bro. But yeah, fun car, dude. But yeah, check out the app, all this and that. But I was looking at it, man. We're down. Look at the weight. Because like I said, we're trying to lose weight, dude. When I left Fonthier was about like 6 months ago, I was at 74 kilos. And I got back up to like 80 is because I started getting aware of it, but I was up to like 83, 84 kilos. But now we're down to right about 79 too, give or take, losing right about 0.6 kilos a week, which seems small, I think. I think it's just because I've only recorded 5 days. But it's been good, man. I've also, I added a daily goal thing to the app. So, spoiler, I was talking to a few friends of mine out in New York, and I've been telling you guys by the end of this year I want to move. I don't think Cambodia is a good long term for me. I love the idea that Cambodia is much quieter and peaceful compared to Vietnam. Because Vietnam is a shit show. Like, living there long term, I don't get it. I did it for 10 years, but I don't get it. But I want something like civilized. In Japan really seems like it. Like, I've had people, I think Pete, this is his name, recommend like Taiwan and stuff like that. I've talked to people about it. I have a friend of mine who's a YouTuber in Taiwan. And I was like, yo, can you just walk down a road and just record like 3 minutes undisturbed, no fucking cutting shit out, just 3 minutes raw, send it to me. So he sent me like, probably like about an hour and a half worth of random footage all over like South Taiwan area, like Taipei and shit like that. And then he went to a few areas because he was doing some videos. I don't like it. Like, Taiwan seems like a civilized, cleaner version of China or Vietnam, which is fine. And they do offer like a PR, like a long-term residency status there, which is very attractive. But I don't think I think growing up in a Chinese Vietnamese world, sometimes you want to get away from it. Like, living in Hawaii, right? We call this, like, growing up, we call it island fever. When you turn 18, guess what you do as a Hawaiian? You get the fuck off that island. That's what most people try to do. When we take vacations in Hawaii, where do we go? You think we just go to Waikiki or Kauai? No, man. We go to Colorado. Really? So it feels like that, like island fever with like Vietnam Chinese culture. So Taiwan is like off the table, but a bunch of my friends in New York were thinking like Japan. I think it'd be fun. And we're not talking like Tokyo. That'd be a fun visit, but to live, I'm thinking like South Side was it Chicago? Like the south part of Japan, like Fukuoka in that general area. But every day I've been crushing out like a good hour and a half of that. No drinking. I think I broke my goal. Yeah, like 2 days ago, I went out and drank with some friends, and bro, not worth it. I woke up yesterday, fuck. I felt defeated. But yeah, check out the app, man. It's 100% free, man. 100% free. I might just change this to free full access. Because the idea is, like, I got a bunch of friends like New York. I got a few friends in Santa Monica and Red Bluff, California. And just all over, like, the West Coast and Texas, whatever. But they're using it and they love it. And they send me feedback in it all the time. So I got like a little feedback button that people can use to be like, yo, David, this shit sucks, or what about this or that? And I'll code it up and make it happen. So check it out, man. 100% worth it. So comments, let's get into these. Prince Bank's still around. Prince Bank, I don't even know where that is. Prince Bank. Actually, we should probably just go to the maps, right? I don't know what Prince Bank is. I know ABA Bank in Cambodia, which is like a Canadian branch bank. And as bad as Canada is, the ABA is probably one of the better banks. Prince Bank, Cambodia. Maybe it's like a Phnom Penh thing. Yeah, I was gonna say Phnom Penh. ATM. Is that it? Seems like there's only one. Even the website don't work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that bank. I've never heard of that bank. But there is a lot of small banks in Cambodia. I get it. No idea. You know, I read this morning. Malacca. You guys remember Assassin's Creed Odyssey, where they always said Malacca? It means like F off. Or it's like vulgarities, right? I never really thought about that. Malacca, Malaysia sounds like fuck off Malaysia. Using like Greek dialect. Malacca. I used to say that a lot, like in schools when I was an English teacher, because I just get annoyed. So like I remember I was working at this high school in District 3 Saigon. This is like back in, fuck, it's been a while. But some of the kids caught on to it. There's like Malacca. I had to start telling them that it was like Malaysian burritos or some dumb shit. Portuguese and Dutch influence. Okay. Maybe Dutch. Maybe that's where they got the word from. You're not getting a Vietnam aid. You're getting Chinese doctoring, implants, medications, and treatments. What? Grand opening, summary. Good opening. Yeah. Oh, this is about the medicine. Vietnam's medication is typically offshored from China. Everything China does, because China makes what is like 92% of all American medicine, right? Like Tylenol and shit like that. China sends a lot of that to Vietnam to get manufactured. Vietnam has no medicine. They don't make their own medicine. They don't have the structure, the know-how, the medical practice. Once USAID left, they really lost everything, right? So this is why I say a lot of like medical in Vietnam is really bad. Like I know this sounds contradictory to like Travis and Evan when they talk about how perfect it is. Sure, it's cheaper than the West, don't get me wrong, but Vietnam's also a third world country where the average income is like 50, 60 cents an hour, like average nationally, right? So of course it's gonna be a lot cheaper. No shit. Also, America is the innovator of medicine. Who invents cancer treatments and innovates them into better situations? What nation worked on the HIV? You know, the pill Magic Johnson's still alive. Charlie Sheen looks like he's 35 again. You know, nobody in Asia or Europe is making these things, right? So it's going to be more expensive. I get that. But when it comes to like Vietnam, you got to be careful, especially the pharmacies. Like, this is one thing that's very concerning in Vietnam, and they don't regulate it. But if you're like how do you spell pharmacy? There it is. Like, you guys probably know what I'm talking about. These are on every fucking corner. Let me get an outside shot. Yeah, a lot of these, you have to be careful with these buildings. I will give you guys a little insight because I used to work in a ministry that dealt with permit taxation, stuff like that. So we dealt with all kinds of businesses. To become a farm technician owner, you have to go through this class that can last 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9. And after you pass the class, well, you pass the class, you have to take this exam. Most of these people pay for the exam answers. It's all fucking paid out, right? And once they do that, they are legally allowed to open this business. Now, this is the thing about Vietnam. Like, if you want to open an English center, right, in Vietnam, you have to have a Vietnamese partner, of course, but the partner has to have a degree in English, right? You can't just get a random Vietnamese person that sells banh mi, says, hey, do you want to become rich? Just sign this paper and be a co-owner with me. No. They actually have to have the degree. This is why English centers are ran and owned by ex-teachers, ILA, EMG. I know for a fact they used to be English teachers in government schools. This is the process, right? So when it comes to the pharmacy, it's the same idea. But what happens is once they graduate, what they typically do is open up these businesses. They'll open up like 6 or 7 of them. I love communism. Pharmacy 03. So dumb. I remember in Vietnam, I used to make fun of the kids with this. I would always put like 0001, 0002. You're like, what are you doing? I was like, what the fuck is 0102? Stop it. But anyways, on the pharmacy. So what they do is they'll mass open a shit ton of these. Right? And they'll just hire Vietnamese people, write down like on a wall, like a cliff note kind of, a footnote kind of thing of what to sell people when they say certain things. And that's all they do. They don't ask you, and this should be a red flag for Westerners. I don't know why Westerners don't bring this up. If you walk into one of these spots and says, hey, this is bad. I have this problem. I need drugs for this. Okay. They just give them to you. They don't ask you about other medication you're on. They don't ask about your medical history. None of this. In America, if you want to get some like over-the-counter drug, which you can buy pretty much freely in Vietnam, they usually ask you some questions or require a doctor's intervention. And it's for your own good. This isn't to regulate shit in regards to like tax anymore. It's, we don't let you taking Percocet just because it's Tuesday and you had a bad night last night and got punched, right? We want you to take it because you need it, right? Vietnam, you can just buy Percocet all day. You can be half drunk buying it. And I think Ha Long Bay is probably one of the last cities you can actually do this though. But it is illegal to buy Percocet now in Vietnam. Well, not illegal, you just need a doctor's note now. But I think Ha Long Bay is the last city that allows it. But yeah, all these pharmacies are like, no bueno. And there's so fucking many. They're on every other freaking corner. So be careful with that, man. I don't recommend any medicine. But when it comes to the medication, yeah, it's all from China. The blueprints to the medicine are usually American or European. Sure, they just manufacture what they're told. But yeah, it's what it is. This guy. So I get a lot of people, because I used to recommend this guy a lot, because he does really good videos back in the day about retiring in the Philippines. He's a veteran, black dude from America, veteran, moved to the Philippines, ended up getting robbed in the Philippines, went to Vietnam, pretty much shilled for the VCP government. Like, look how nice the police are. These foreigners are lying to us, like dumb shit like that. I honestly think this guy fell off. I don't endorse this guy anymore. Like, this dude's turning into a liberal shithead. Like, I don't know any other word to say it. Yeah. Like, I'm starting to see a lot of this. Trump supporter this, Biden that. Why back in America struggles in Southeast Asia. Like, he's going over a lot of, like, literally just, like, dumb shit. And he reminds me of this guy. This is just my mental thinking of it. Maisie Lucas. I don't know if you guys, he's a funny commentator. I used to love watching this guy. But this is like 6 years ago or some shit like that. And the reason for it is he was really, he did a lot of like streaming on like Assassin's Creed. So I always found him kind of fun to watch. Yeah, he used to do like Spider-Man. Sorry, it was Spider-Man. But yeah, he's a cool dude. I used to like watching this guy. But he started slipping. He started getting into like conspiracy theories. He started getting into like the Candace Owens shit. Like, hear me out on this, because this does deal with Asia. But he started getting into this like bipolar thing. I don't know what you'd call it. But he started calling himself like Liberal Lucas, making jokes, talking to himself. Like, he'd do video editing so it looked like he's talking to himself, right? Doubles. After a while, he just stopped doing doubles and just became liberal. Now he's just a mess. This is what this guy reminds me of. He's turning into this like, America's bad, fuck everybody, everybody's a racist, I hate you all. Trump this, Biden that, the CIA, like, and I'm sure there's a lot of truth behind it. And I will be honest, like, when it comes to like things like Trump, I'm not a fan of a lot of the shit he does. Like, I love the whole America First immigration policy. I fucking love it. Try to do what these people in America are doing in Vietnam or anywhere else in the world, in Asia, right? You'll get deported next day. You see foreigners that overstay their visa by like a week, they get posted on Reddit, and everyone's like, deport him, fuck him all. But what America does is racist. You see the contradiction. I feel like this guy's going that route. So for everybody that sends me like videos about him or questions about what he says, because I've been getting some videos lately and comments about him saying, hey, he says this. I'm confused, right? And this is a mix of like Asians, Filipinos that send me this stuff. I've quite a few Americans actually. I don't know what this guy's doing. He's lost his fucking mind apparently. So Like, I think he just did a video recently. Hold on, let me find it. Where he was talking about, yeah, this one right here. So there was this thing going on in the steakhouse in America where they're saying they're spitting in black people's food. And it's been disproved many, many times. This guy does a video about Trump supporters spitting in black people's food, how everybody's racist in America, fuck that country, right? Meanwhile, he's living in a country where everybody spits in food on the street markets, living on an American passport benefit, right? Like, he wouldn't be who he was without that American citizenship. So I don't know, like, a lot of these people are just, they're losing their fucking minds. Yeah, right here. Why do you have to make it about Trump? Yeah, see, this is kind of cool. Like, people are actually pushing back on him. Like, he used to be such a good guy, but yeah, maybe he's just getting old and senile. I don't know, but because he actually gives out good advice about retiring in the Philippines. It's ironic though. He got robbed in the Philippines. Like, his house got broken into. He got robbed. It's very weird. Negros, Ambrose. Yeah, see. Now he's just going on about Black America, and he's not even like in America anymore. I don't fall for this race bait bullshit. I don't care. Like, there's a lot of these people that do this. Like, I used to watch the Hodge twins. They started doing that garbage. What is wrong with people? Why can't we just live? But I don't know. I guess racism lives. What is this? Sony is begging boycott the stuff. Oh, this is from a friend of mine in New York. He sent me this video, so I saved it. This is funny. When's the last time you bought a PC game at a store? Or the last time you really bought an Xbox game at a store that wasn't used? And I'm talking for like the 360, right? Even the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 have started going digital. Everyone has went digital. Steam, all these like online PC companies. And now Sony's like, fuck it, we're gonna ride with it. Now they're starting to like protest and shit and get up in arms about like they're getting rid of the disc. I don't think this is gonna do anything. I think Sony planned this years ago. If they're now making it a public announcement, they're gonna get rid of this shit, dude. No company really does this. And I started researching this, kind of curious. Last year, the year before, Sony's physical sales accounted for between 7 to 9.2% of their total sales for the years, respectively. And I was kind of curious, like, well, what are they buying? Are they buying like the Madden 2026 game or the Call of Duty? No, limited edition shit, which makes sense. You know, buy the limited edition, get like I don't know, like a Spider-Man outfit or something crazy. I think Spider-Man Morales did that, where if you bought the limited edition, they gave you like a Spider-Man suit to wear. You know, I get that stuff, but that was really what all the sales were. Everything's digital now, man. I don't think this is going to do anything. They're protesting a company worth billions of dollars. This guy did the video about the stock's going to go down. I don't think he's aware that Sony's stock is barely I think it's like 8 to 12%. I'm probably wrong on this. I was just looking at their ticker. But the Sony stock ticker does not relatively put a lot of weight on their gaming department. Meaning a lot of their stuff is in semiconductors, right? Semiconductors, electronics like TVs, cameras, audio equipment, and Sony Pictures are the big guys. They own the rights to Spider-Man. Like, they own part of it or something like that. It did like over $1 billion in a week or something, right? Sony, I believe what they're going to do with this, I know this is off traveling, but somebody sent it to me, so let's talk about it. I think what's going to happen is they're just going to fire a bunch of people, automate more jobs, and say, fuck off. We just lost $1 billion because of these people acting like children. So we're just going to fire them. And then AI shit. Like, so I have a few of my friends that actually, they're in New York. They're like freelance nomads that live in America. But what they do is they make games for like Android and iOS, right? But they use Claude. And they make these like Call of Duty knockoffs that fucking look good. Right? They make these mobile games that look fucking, we're talking good. They don't look like 8-bit trash. The gaming world is getting replaced by AI. If they're sitting there using $100 Claude plans to build Call of Duty, the fucking Vietnam edition or whatever they call it, Sony don't need them. You know what I mean? So I find like this is just a waste of fucking time. Every company, Nintendo, Microsoft, PC, and that was something I looked into. Ubisoft, you know, Assassin's Creed, Ubisoft and the Madden company EA Sports, most of their sales in the 90 percentile are digital sales only. So it's just a waste of money. So I don't know. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. This guy didn't seem like he understood what he was talking about. He seemed like he was emotionally talking. Oh, this is last week's video. I see a lot of these people say, I went back to America, Australia, and I felt lonely. If this is you, if you feel like you don't belong in your home country no more, this is an emotional thing, man. This isn't that America's bad or Australia's bad and Vietnam is better, which I think he's living in. And I put a comment about it too. Like, I feel like a lot of people, they hide, they run from their problems. They go to Asia because they're stressed, they're stuck in a shitty job, they can't afford day-to-day stuff. And that's the thing too. I've talked to so many people over the decade that left America because it was too expensive. I get it. And they had good jobs. They're making $50,000, $80,000, $100,000 a year kind of a thing. But there was always a common trend. They all had student loans. They all had credit card debt. And they all loved going on Amazon, ordering shit all the time. If you're in America or the West and you're in debt and you have a house full of shit you don't use, there's a way I'm not saying go full minimalist, but I mean, stop spending so fucking much. Like the average American spends way too much money on Amazon. When I went back to America back in like 2022, 2023 to see my mother, this is out in Seattle area. Every morning I walked up and down the street, right? I had to get my 10,000 steps in. People in Washington, they have their garages open in the morning. They're out there like smoking a cigar, or they're just reading the newspaper, whatever, mowing the lawn, pick something. Anyways, their garages are all open, airing them out or whatever, right? They're all full of empty Amazon boxes and shit crammed in boxes. We buy too much shit. That's why we're in debt. We're paying for things that we haven't used and functioned. Like, think about it. If you have a Capital One credit card with like a $5,000 balance, you're paying your monthly payment. Look at why do you have that balance? I bet it's because you bought something 4 years ago, you're still paying for it. Do you still have that thing? Probably not. You paid for a Disney trip? Why? Such a weird thing. So, if you are running from the West, and I understand the stress, I get it costs too much. I think a big way to fix that is just look at what you're spending. We always tell the U.S. government, stop taxing us so much, just stop spending so fucking much, right? Makes sense. Control the spending, not the grabbing. Sometimes making more isn't the solution if you're spending too much, right? I feel like most Western people, we just spend too much shit. Spend too much money on shit. So, cut back, man. I wish this guy the best. I know he put some replies in there, but yeah. If you're feeling like you don't belong in your home country after living in Asia for 10 or 12 years, you really need to sit down and like evaluate yourself. Right? Like, are you ready for demons or something? I think a lot of people are. Living in a country where they don't understand your language, your culture, your mindset. They don't understand why you call football something to use your hand with. They don't understand anything because they grew up in a different world. So it's something to self-reflect on, honestly. It is. Like, there's a lot of great books about that. Like, I read this book. I just finished it last night. You guys know Hayden, right? I forgot her name. She ended up just dying recently. Yeah, this lady. She was on Heroes and stuff like that. I think I know you guys. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? This girl. And somebody told me, he's like, yo, read her biography that she just released. She just died, read her book. And I'm not a fan of like actors' biographies because it's usually just like, oh, poor me, life is hard. But being a dick. I recommend her book. It is actually insane the amount of mental illness and depression she went to. And when I used to live in Saigon, and I talked to a lot of people that were like, they had this mindset of like, I left America, I didn't feel like I belonged and stuff like that. They sound like her. And I mean this in respect. She was fighting demons, man. Like, it led to drug abuse, alcohol abuse. Like, she had a child and she just felt empty inside. Like, many things were going on. And there was a case where some guy was, and she wrote in her book that I knew that I could accept being abused by you because the feeling of being alone would hurt even more or something like that, right? Like, she justified abuse because she was mentally just like fried, right? So I recommend her. Her book is fucking good. It's a fast read. It does kind of have some of that storybook shit, like, oh, it's so hard. Life is hard as an actor, but I think it's 100% worth reading this. Read this book. If you are in one of those moods where it's like, you feel like purposeless or something like that. And again, I know it's that girl, it's a female actress acting stupid. No, give it a shot. After 5 months of, dude, it is raining so bad. After 5 months Philippines, I left, quality of life, the city, burning waste, consuming, concerns about local healthcare and the negative impressions of local cemetery as releases a small town line. Yeah, I mean, this is like Vietnam too. The noise, the construction, constant burning, disrespect, yada, yada, yada. Because I heard I like this guy. He's like, I have YouTubers that I like. I like this guy. He was talking about he's moving back to Saigon. Like, I don't get it. Like, definitely follow this guy, man. He's a good guy to watch. I sometimes watch his videos. I'm on his Patreon. I will put that out there too. But I think his videos are really good. Like, because it gives you, it reminds me of Vietnam when I was there for the last 10 years. Because I was in, like, I loved it. I learned the language. I improved it. I enjoyed the culture. I embraced it. So he kind of brings that back in like 2025, 6. But he said he's moving to Saigon. I don't get that shit, bro. The noise, the honking, the trash, the fucking everything, bro. Stop the bus. Facebook, hold on. Facebook is special because they don't let you use it. What is this? They're catching stray dogs. Yeah, these dogs are gonna get cooked, bro. They will cook these dogs. I don't know what to tell anybody. This isn't like, people try to defend Vietnam cooking dogs and eating dog. And cat is not as common, I'll be honest with you. It's more of a survival food at that point. But dog has a lot of like cultural meaning. It has like religious factors. I mean, I know Vietnam's a pagan nation and pagans don't eat animals like that, but Vietnam uses like a chi theory. Like they make up their own Buddhist terms and stuff like that. It just happens. You don't like it, fuck. You're gonna be angry. Thai visa. Sure.
What this video suggest about this?
I'm assuming the comments are just insulting foreigners. I say the same about illegals in America, but it's racist. Help me understand. Yeah, I don't like when people do this, like foreigner bad, foreigner. Like I'm so tired of fucking foreigners in Asia acting like they're some superior soapbox standing know-it-all. I'm so tired of foreigners and this and that. It's like, bitch, you are a foreigner. And when you look at like Western countries, it's so bad. The way like immigrants act a lot of the times, a lot of the way the foreigners in America or Australia or Japan act. And these foreigners are not white people. They're not black people. Like when you look at like so this year and last year, Trump's, what do you call it? DHS or something like that? ICE, you guys know ICE, right? Their deportation, when they were giving out numbers, I think it was like last month, on like different nationalities that are being deported. And when it came to the Asian side, the largest deportation of Asian people in America this last year and a half are Vietnamese are number 1 and Cambodians are number 2. And every one of them overstayed visas more than 5 years. They were told they need to leave in 30 days because their immigration status was revoked. Or they just had a criminal record, they kept going to jail. And I started looking into a lot of these videos. A lot of these Cambodians that get deported, it's nothing against Cambodia as a country. We have to understand, people don't represent their country, you know, dollar for dollar per se, right? You're gonna get an asshole in America that just doesn't represent the natural charm of America, right? You're gonna get a random British guy that just sounds low IQ. Doesn't mean all British people are dumb. Just means that guy's dumb and he happens to be a Brit, right? But a lot of these Cambodians, they're just tattooed up everywhere. They're gang related. They're in the Southside Crips in LA. Vietnamese are the same thing. The thing about Vietnamese is they typically get like 3 or 4 felonies for like petty theft and breaking and entering and shit like that. And they're just like, hey, your green card's revoked. Fuck off. You got 30 days to deport, right? And that's the thing about Americans. They allow you to go home after you're deported. Home as in America, your house in America. Grab your shit and leave. If you get deported out of Vietnam or Thailand, Mexico, North Korea, any of these countries, Thailand, they're gonna pack your shit for you and leave you in the detention area and then force deport you where the fuck they want, right? I think people take for granted that places like America, the UK, actually are very, very nice to illegals. They're very nice to people that overstay their visa. When I see people in Vietnam that overstay their visa or they do crimes, like the guy that broke into the Da Nang silver shop. Dude, the comments were about killing this guy. They wanted him dead. The Western people did. Not the Vietnamese, the Western. Vietnamese people were just like, oh, that's not good. I hope he serves his time and goes home. Like, it was actually level-headed comments. But the Westerners were just like, insane. Yeah, in America, you can't say that shit about an immigrant. Right? I got a lot of friends and family in New York. You guys want to talk about the Quran? They say a lot of shit, but they're considered racist for it. And a lot of these people are there illegally, taking money from New York people, being ran by a governor or mayor that is about as dumb as fucking 3 rocks. Right? And it just doesn't make sense. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. I think people that move abroad, they get this like chip on their shoulder. Maybe that's what it is. Like out here in Kampot, Cambodia, a lot of these foreigners, and a lot of them are older too, but they really just hate themselves. They hate Western people. They despise the West. They hate capitalism. They hate free trade. They hate freedom of speech. They hate guns, like the right to bear arms. They hate everything. Yet they're here under an American or UK or European passport. The only reason they're in Cambodia successful is because of that passport. Every bar owner I know out here, and I'm not calling them out as bad, but every one of them out here I know, well over 20 of them, they're all holding ER visas, retirement visas, under a foreign passport from a Western nation. Every one of them. They're also doing pretty good financially because they're getting an American pension. They're getting a British pension. They're getting an Australian pension. Tax-free, mind you, right? But they come out here like, I hate the Western people. Like, everything about your life is Western. Everything. So I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. You guys let me know in the comments of the live stream. I find it weird. You know, you don't see Vietnamese in America telling Vietnamese tourists to get the fuck out of Vietnam because they're idiots. They don't do that. They might be like, yeah, sometimes they act weird. That's communist Vietnam, right? They kind of make jokes about it, but it's not like that serious. Like there was a Vietnamese guy that got deported last month who was raping a 10-year-old for 2 years. In America, seriously, it was a Vietnamese citizen on a green card. He got deported. The Vietnamese side, in Vietnamese, written in Vietnamese, were pretty much like, yeah, this is bad. He makes us look bad in America. We're not all like this. Wish him the best in Vietnam. Never let him back, America, right? They all were kind of like level-headed, reasonable about it. It wasn't like, I hope they hang him, blah, blah. Which is crazy because Vietnamese are typically pretty nasty people when it comes to gossip and shit talking. But that's what it is. What is this? You will always gonna be my what? Yeah, that's what a lot of these comments are. They're just like, fuck the Western people. Yeah, see, like, this is good. They're getting rid of all them. Like, I don't think it's good. Like, that's the thing, too. When you look at the stat, most foreigners, like, I would love to hear that. Can I ask, your comment section is pretty much Westerners are bad. However, when I look at Thai stats, most crimes are done by Chinese people, followed by Indians, This is a fact too, mind you. So would this law be more of something Thailand is doing because of the masses? White and black people are not possibly doing so much bad that the entire PM and Key are cracking down this wildly fast. Like, I don't know if that makes sense. I'm curious on his thoughts on that. Because in Vietnam, when you look at the crime stats, it's mostly domestic Vietnamese traveling together. Think about Da Nang. Last year, the petty theft crime was up something like 300% Da Nang. And when you look at who was doing it, it wasn't actually Da Nang people. It was Saigonese, it was Hanoi people, it was Vietnamese from different parts of Vietnam going to Da Nang, becoming grab drivers, vendors, whatever, or just going there and robbing people. And they weren't just robbing foreigners, they were robbing Vietnamese people, right? The biggest problem in Da Nang with the crime were actual domestic people. When you go to Hanoi, a majority of the crime, and I know this for a fact, a majority of the crime are Arab people from like Algeria and Chinese people. When you go to Haiphong, Chinese people lead the crime issues over Vietnamese citizens. Seriously. So there's a very big mix. Like you think about Da Nang, the Australian guy that beat up the coffee shop, the American dude that robbed the P&J. Those are like those and a few other things. Like what, 3 or 4 like serious issues last year happened. But that doesn't compete to the thousands of Vietnamese domestically that were doing the same thing. After that bank robbery in Da Nang, it was like 3 weeks later, another bank in Da Nang was robbed by 2 Vietnamese. It was like a Vietcom bank or Viet N bank, I forget what it was. And when you went to Reddit and looked at the comments, Vietnamese or foreigners were laughing. Like, oh, must be Tet. Doesn't that seem weird to you? That's why I don't take Western people too seriously when it comes to like their like hate towards foreigners, because I don't think they're very smart people. That's why this guy's good. I like it. Don't get me wrong. That's why I say like the black dude we were talking about, the sunshine guy in the Philippines. I think he lost touch. Like I think he did. We were talking. I think it was like a couple days ago. Fog guy here. He's a good dude to an extent, but even he's starting to lose touch with reality. He's so indulged in Vietnam. He's put everything into it. Every egg is in this basket. He came out, got married, had kids, has no means to, it seems like he has no means or stability to go back to America, like nowhere to go. No resume to show for it, yada, right? Which is normal. I don't either. Like, hypothetically, I don't. If I went back to America today, I got a CV that's empty. That's going to be hard to find a fucking job. I might as well be an 18-year-old again, right? Like, my credit score is good. That's fine. But my CV is going to be like, I was in Vietnam doing this and that. Started a couple of businesses. I was an English teacher and I drank a lot of beer. That's not going to give me a job. Even though I got 2 bachelor degrees, it's not going to give me a job, right? But a lot of these people are just so baked in to the fact that like the emails I get from people is way more aggressive than this. But touch grass, because all I talked about were Vietnamese people complaining about their government. The message, like, let me share with you guys. This post was about what Vietnamese people think, right? This past 2 days, many Vietnamese are posting on Reddit and other brand Western sites about Vietnam government and how they handle government officials breaking the law with their cars. How far do you think they will go? The idea is Vietnamese people, born and raised in Vietnam, the citizens, are starting to go to Reddit and Facebook complaining about the government taking advantage of their power. So what is the reply? Go touch grass, David. Palm is lost. Evan is lost. Ken Dong is lost. Like they are so baked. All their eggs in that basket. You know what I mean? It's just. I don't know, man. I find it weird. I wish him all the best, but yeah, like I thought he was a good guy. I mean, I wish he would quit drinking so damn much because he gets a little out of hand. But these types of people, man, It's what fills Facebook and Reddit, unfortunately. Give me a second. All right, boys, we back. Sorry about that. So what do we got? What is this? Why the world hates Chinese tourists? Yeah, right here. You're an ambassador of yours.
Personal space bubble is much smaller and much worse. So I think that we need to be maybe interested in
You know what annoys me about that? Like, you guys saw the train. If you're in an elevator, actually, hold on. Oh, it doesn't. I don't know why. Like, my computer doesn't play Patreon. I was going to show you guys a Patreon video from Bentley, like a short part of it. But in one of his Patreon videos, he was getting out of an elevator. Like, the elevator stopped at this hotel, and this guy pushed his way into the elevator before him and his girlfriend even get out. Like, they just push before they let anybody get the fuck out. So let's fill the train even more before anybody can even get out. Like, it's so dumb. And again, you could change this to Vietnam tourists, and the video would hold stance.
about. In 2024, the children were based in the fishing, bands, capabilities were touching, walking, objects, propagandas. So,
And this is like a political thing in Vietnam, right? What else?
travel sentiment data from major tourism destinations show that the majority of attractions were Chinese travelers about the just mixed up about the very
I think it's Chinese people. Now, I want to be clear on this while we're watching this. This was sent to me from a Vietnamese friend of mine in Hanoi, saying, and he made the joke, you could change it to you could change the title to Chinese tourist and change his last name to Win, and the video would hold strong. This is coming from an official.
Outliers become the story, but still the behavior for bad ways.
What was that? Sorry. Where'd he go?
Ignored.
I think a lot of what it is, though, is just uncivilized. Like Vietnam, like, you know, I always want to blame communism education. Like, Vietnam's a communist education country. They treat their people like monkeys because that's what they reflect themselves as. And it's actually, this is kind of a fun education fact if you guys give a shit. The Vietnamese government in Saigon is fully aware there's this disconnect from people from like different cities around Saigon, mostly like farm town stuff, that they're not civilized. So they've started introducing civilization style classes in secondary and high schools in a lot of these smaller villages throughout all of Vietnam. And what it does is it prepares Vietnamese students on how to act more human when they move to Hanoi and Saigon. Because what's happening, especially in Saigon, is a lot of these village Vietnamese people are moving to Saigon and they're just acting like they're on a farm. They're urinating everywhere, they're spitting on everything, they're yelling on everything. They're stealing and taking whatever they want. They're trashing everything. They're burning trash in the middle of anywhere. They're smoking inside of restaurants. They're acting like, I don't even know what you call that. I know everyone goes to the term monkey to make fun of uncivilized people, I guess. But I mean, monkeys don't smoke. And monkeys and chimpanzees are typically rather civilized, if you consider the idea. So it's kind of insulting to call a Vietnamese or Chinese person like, they act like a monkey. Like, I don't think that's a fair assessment. Throwing shit, I mean, Indian people throw shit, right? But I don't know. But I feel like I always want to blame communism, though. But you look at countries like Cuba, Venezuela are two good examples. The people there are normal. They really are. I've been to Cuba. This is a long time ago. I've been to south part of Venezuela. I've been to Argentina. Like, they're not, Argentina is not like communist, but I'm just saying, ideal. They act normal. You can put a Venezuela into an American country or city, state, whatever, and they would be fine. You put a Vietnamese into America, and they're just out of control. They're already starting to pee on self checkout line. They don't know how to use escalators. They don't know what an escalator is for. They're walking up the stairs are going down. I've seen this a lot of times. There's this mall called Lloyd Center. It's in Portland, Oregon, and they have the escalator, right? I think it's like 4-story mall, and we used to see Vietnamese people. We would laugh about this too. This is like back in like 2003 and to like 2010. But I would be with my uncles and shit. We'd be at Lloyd Center food court. They had like 2 different, up and downs, and then one right here, and then it was a food court. And we would just sit there and watch. We could always find Vietnamese people because they'd be trying to like walk up the escalator wrong. They'd be yelling on their phone. You couldn't even see them yet, and you knew it was them. Right? Like it was a joke. And the people I was out there eating with were Vietnamese. They were my uncles I grew up with. They were the friends I grew up with. So this wasn't like a bunch of white guys, Jewish people or something like that sitting in the corner making fun of Asian. No. They were the ones that were like, yo, let's go get some Panda Express and watch some fucking dorks, right? Crazy times, bro. But I don't think it's like communism. I think there's seriously something wrong with places like Vietnam and China, where they just never got that click to act human. Because if you meet a Vietnamese in America or Australia or Germany, they're fine. And this isn't they act Western. It's they act human. I don't think walking around yelling on your phone, spitting everywhere, sitting at a table with your feet on the table, eating chicken bones, throwing them everywhere, spitting on everything, urinating everywhere, yelling everywhere, throwing trash wherever you want. That's not human. That's not normal, man. I'm sorry. Like if you did this stuff in the West, like people would criticize you, right? Like they wouldn't accept that as like good or bad or good. They'd find you, right? But I mean, also if you would just like fuck the West, go to Singapore, go to Japan. Those are 2 countries that come to mind. Malaysia is another one. You get outside the Indian areas, it's not allowed. They look at you bad. And I know we could say, well, Japan and Singapore are westernized. Is that the right word, or are they just like human? You know what I mean? Like Japanese respect each other. They don't throw trash everywhere. Singapore, they don't destroy their area. They keep it nice, clean, happy, yada yada yada. Which I think is a fair thing to do, right? So I don't know. You guys let me know. As much as I love to blame communism for the low IQ, I don't think it's what it is. Because again, Cuba and Venezuela are just, they act human as can be. They got shitty governments. They're oppressed, but they don't act like this.
Or spaces.
I mean, that's fair. See, this is where I disagree. I don't think it's about etiquette of an airport or a country. I think it's just human decency. And I think we're going to see I haven't really seen this video yet. I think we're going to see some examples of how they act. That's not etiquette. That's just human fucking common sense. Like you don't walk down the road in New York drinking a soda and just throw the shit on the ground and then start pissing on the fucking, I don't know, a mailbox. Like you don't do that. You don't go home at 8 p.m., open your doors and windows, turn on the speakers and start yelling karaoke in a residential area, throwing beer cans out your door and just yelling, 1, 2, 3, yo! Like you don't do this anywhere in the world. Like I get this though. You guys let me know. I think it's just like I think it's a culture issue. I don't know. You don't need 5 generations to learn how to act like a human. These people, like these kids have had phones for like the last 30 years. Never caught on to like close your mouth when you chew?
A wealthy Chinese person continues to understand that basically I need to get forwards.
Let me know if the sound is bad too, because I have my microphone here. I don't want to put on my headphones. Yeah. This is the thing too with Da Nang. You guys are like talking about like Vietnam tourism is so bad. The West are ruining it. The Westerners are ruining everything. This is what Chinese people do. Chinese and Koreans are the largest tourist groups in Da Nang. This is how they go. Massive groups with a lot of money. And they're there for like a week and they're gone. Here we go again. Yep. This is a big complaint in Vietnam with my Vietnamese friends. The agents out here, the travel agents in Vietnam, that like if you're Vietnamese, you want to go to Ho Long Bay and you set up one of these tours, they will fucking cheat, rob you, lie to you, make up shit all the time just to get more money. This is what Vietnamese deal with. This isn't not the foreigners, Vietnamese.
Well, that's not what I'm thinking for China. Alcohol actually looks like stuff that came from the environment.
Exactly. Hold on.
Alcohol actually looks like stuff that came.
You guys see what's happening right here, right?
It's really like.
You see what's happening right here, right? This is just like how do you not know urinating in a public train on the floor or shitting on a sidewalk is abnormal or is normal, right? You know, it's funny, Chinese people make fun of Indians for being shit tossers and dirty people, yet this is what they do. What's the difference? I actually think Chinese, I would actually say Indian people, at least they organize the shit they throw. These guys are just shitting everywhere.
Viral outrage, and look, we're talking about
Like, this is retarded.
because it's not any less than.
Dude's kicking shit, literally. And again, this is a big problem like Vietnamese have. This happens when I lived in Hanoi, you saw this shit everywhere, dude. Like there's actually a few shorts I've done. You guys can find them in there somewhere where I was in Hanoi. And I'd be doing like a video, and I'd turn the video into a shorts here and there because it was just funny. But I'd be walking down or sitting in a restaurant, somebody would just start pissing behind me or shitting behind me. Or like with their nose, picking their nose, flinging fucking like goober boogers that are like that long, right? It's normal for them. Weird.
Here's the thing, Chinese cultural operates in
Broken. Yeah. Yeah. This is going on in Vietnam too. You know what's crazy? Out here in Cambodia, there's signs that say no spitting, no peeing on everything, don't steal. When you go to these hotels, they're only written in Vietnamese. I think it's kind of funny. This is because in Vietnam and China, if you hit somebody, you get in trouble. You have to pay their medical fees. So in China, they just spit on each other like fucking children. Like, this is how dumb their society is. Their nation is dumb. Vietnam as a nation is dumb. And it's not that the individual people are dumb. Vietnamese are smart people. Doctors, engineers, all this stuff. But the nation as a whole, and it's because they allow it. Other people watch this thinking it's fucking normal. This is weird, bro. You get out of your car and start spitting on people because you're angry? In what country, world is that normal?
Operations, policy and science can't change people overnight. Then there was the bathroom situation.
Yeah. 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 But that's the thing, though. China and Vietnam have been in this like evolution of the last 35, 40 years. Nobody figured out how to use a toilet in 40 years. You know what I mean? Like, he's using, like, I get his videos kind of like, hey, it's just been, they haven't had 100 years to figure shit out, where the West has. I think that's an excuse. Like, look at Hanoi, Saigon, when it comes to driving cars. They've had motorbikes for like the last 45 years. They still can't drive a motorbike, let alone a car. But David, they just got cars in Vietnam. Okay. Look at the Model T. If you guys are not aware of this, the Ford Model T, right? This is back when America started getting their very first cars, right? Here's the thing. Back in those days, when you drove a Model T, you drove by a horse, you had to, by law, take off your tires because it scared the horse. I don't know the reasoning behind it, but it happened. Meaning, when Americans were getting cars for the very first time ever in human history, they drove better than any Vietnamese does today. And they had common sense. They weren't driving on sidewalks and farms, honking at people, honking at horses, running kids over, getting drunk and flying around their cars. No. They drove like humans. So this idea that they haven't had time to evolve, shut the fuck up. This is where I don't agree with any of this shit.
Cities are just holes in the ground with no toilet paper or soap.
One of the biggest things in the city of the planet is what we're gonna be like, actually, what we're just gonna be in.
Yes. It's not about that conversation.
Yep. And they usually empty out all the soap and shit. It's crazy. You see this in the north, in the countryside. This is actually normal. I did not understand it at first. I actually thought it was some kind of like PDF file thing. But I got educated pretty quickly. No, it's just so they can poop.
Calls.
Yep.
Short Elvis.
I remember I was at this school, and I'll say the name. It gets fucking. It's nothing against the school. It was called Scots English, I think it was. It was in Hanoi, and so I'm there helping like with curriculum editing. And I go outside with this Algerian dude, really nice guy, mind you. And we're just out there talking about some shit, and like, oh, we're talking about coconut coffee, mind you. Fucking amazing, by the way. But anyways, we're standing out there, right outside the front door of the school, like right over. Like, we were probably like 50 feet to the right or left, whatever it was. And we were out there smoking. This is back in my smoking days. And in the building, right when you walk in, straight ahead, like 15 feet. There's 3 bathrooms, boy, girl, and teacher bathroom, right? This lady comes out, rich lady with like all this like Gucci, and she has a car and shit, comes out, there's a tree in front of the door, drops her kid's pants and has them shit on the tree. The Algerian dude, I'm not gonna say his name, the Algerian dude went over, looked inside the building like, is the bathroom full? Went inside, opened up all 3 bathrooms, all empty, and they came outside, grabbed the mother by her, said, hey, can you come here? And showed her all 3 and said, what are you doing? And it was, the crazy part is the mother was just like, what? What's wrong? And the TAs were like, oh, it's fine. We can clean it later. Everybody was justifying it. There's a bathroom right there. 3 of them. But you want to shit on a tree? Okay. I don't get it, man.
The civilizing process. Travis against the environment. Basis of catch of emotions.
Like it's weird too. Like when I used to work at this place in Hanoi, they used to talk about like we should put new signs or like cameras here and there, this or that. Because if you tell the people don't do this, they don't listen. They always try to find a shortcut to cheat. I don't know, man. Toby, Suck. I can't deal with that shit, bro. I get it. Yeah. Have you guys ever been, if you've ever, because I know a lot of you guys that watch me are about Vietnam, right? If you ever go to Da Nang, go to Bana Hills, right? It's where they got the hand bridge thing. If you are not there at 11 a.m. to about 1 p.m., the outside of that window, the entire fucking bridge is full of girls taking selfies for like an hour at a time. It's the same girls. Like they don't leave.
Traffic. Barriers,
Yeah, this is an issue with in Japan. I was looking into it, like this is months ago. In Japan, what a lot of Vietnamese and Chinese will do is what do you call it? Like they the blossoms, flower blossom trees. They were pulling them down or breaking them to get the perfect picture. A lot of Vietnamese were doing this. And it was fucking shit up really bad. I mean, they're breaking a tree to take a stupid picture.
abstentions,
Yeah. It's literally retarded. What's up, man? Get thrown in jail for 30 years in Vietnam, so call it retirement plan and citizenship in Vietnam. An American in Da Nang. No, that's actually a thing about Da Nang. You're talking about that P&J guy, right? They're probably gonna deport him. Relatively. Like, he might go to jail for like a year or two. It's too much political pressure for a place like Vietnam to do this. Like, places like Korea, Japan, Singapore, sure, they'd hold on to an American or another nationality. But for like a Vietnam country, because even think about, what was that Russian dude? Valtali or whatever it was, right? In the Philippines. Like, they ended up just letting him go. And honestly, if I'm being honest, I think they let him go just because of the social pressure. It was too much mainstream noise. And it was starting to show the flaws of the Philippines, the legal system, the jail system, the unhealth standards, the human rights violations. It was bringing up way too much bad, where it was just like, you know what? Fuck this guy, deport him, blacklist him, just let's move on. This isn't worth it. This is actually making us look stupid right now because it's calling us. I think Vietnam's going to do the same. But at the same time, nobody really talks about Vietnam because nobody really cares globally when it comes to this type of shit. So maybe they do keep him in jail. I don't know. 30 years old now. For doing what he did, probably like 3 to 5 years maybe. Because the Vietnamese guys that did it, they got one of the guys got 2 years, and the guy that had the gun got, I think it was like 7 years, something like that. The American guy, he broke in, breaking in is robbery, obviously. And he also assaulted a security guard. The security guard assault, probably not going to go that far. They might just ignore it, honestly. I think they'll focus on the robbery over anything else. It's not like America where they will charge you independently on different charges. Or even South Korea does that too with Johnny Somalia. Like, they got him for different charges. Vietnam's not going to do that. I think they're just going to tag him for robbery, sit him out for a couple of years, and say, fuck off. Like, that's what it's going to be.
Chinese tourists also have a fundamentally different understanding
Yeah. Yeah. Vietnamese are some of the, again, I'm focused on Vietnam. You guys hear China right now. It's not my deal. I'm talking about Vietnam. This is all normal. It is. Go to a Vietnamese restaurant. Everybody's yelling and throwing shit. Like, I feel bad for waitresses and waiters in Vietnam. They get, especially at the restaurants, the owners treat them like shit. They're hawkeyeing them all the time. And the customers, dude, it's bad. You guys know the bar girls, right? The beer girls that wear like the tiger dresses and shit. They get treated bad. I would not be surprised if they get SA'd a lot. Like, it is bad. They force them to drink. The owner's like, you have to, we'll fire you, right? They don't get paid really at all unless they sell beer, meaning they recommend it. It's just a nasty thing, dude. Like, I feel that is borderline boom boom. You know what I mean, right? Andrew Tate level shit. It kind of feels like it sometimes because the way that they're treated, nobody does anything about it. And then when these Vietnamese go abroad, a lot of them do this shit. You see this in Japan, you see it in Australia. Yep. Yep. Yeah, don't fuck, like, I'm not a fan of the religion, but don't fuck with Malaysia, girl. They do not, especially the thick ones, dude, they do not give a fuck. They are pretty on ground.
Conflict with everyone around
What? You got the earth, you got the rice hat? Bro. I'm gonna get you on the Patreon. I'll get you like I'll like do like the year free thing on there for you. I'll remember. Respect. Yeah, like look how dumb they act. I'm gonna splash street water on you with a shitty berm.
Saying thank you because that's not a story.
Never.
Yeah.
What the fuck, really?
What do you think?
That's a big one, dude. Even when that was actually kind of an off story, but when I was in Singapore, there was this Vietnamese group. You guys know that like building has a hot dog on top? Behind it is an aqua hydro energy spot. It's got like these trees and shit like that. It's fucking beautiful. It's behind this hotel. But there's a bunch of, there's like a group of Vietnamese. There had been like 20 of them. They're all over just picking those, flicking it, putting it on trees. And the security guy came over and started yelling at them. Me and a couple friends were sitting, because it's like they have this bridge and it's like this little like river, man-made river. And we're just sitting there watching. And this is before the security guy came over, but they're just like all over the place on the tree. Like they were assaulting this tree with snot. And this guy came over. Eventually what happened is they made them clean the tree with rags. It was hilarious. So you got a bunch of Vietnamese guys scrubbing a tree off, getting the snot off of it. Like it's such uncivilized actions, bro. And we have to tell them that.
Some steal life jackets from the airport.
What the fuck? What do you do with a life jacket? No. Everywhere in Cambodia, they have signs written in Chinese and Vietnamese only. Don't stand on the toilet seat. What the fuck? That's real? What is she gonna do? Jump out? This is kind of the scary part about the whole social credit system too. Like this is what Vietnam's doing. Like during Tet, they banned Vietnamese from getting on sleeper buses and trains if they didn't register correctly. It was actually kind of crazy. Oh, there it is. See, that's the thing though. Like if you tell in Vietnam, you would hear a foreigner like, "Oh, I'm from America." I'm just saying it because that's where I'm from. You should act like you're in America. when you're in another country, right? Okay, I get that. Be on your best behavior. If you told a Vietnamese dude you should act like you're in Saigon when you're in America or Australia or some shit like that, bro, get his ass beat. Like you don't like it's kind of like what did Rome do is Rome, you know what I mean? But when you as a Westerner and you go to another country, you're supposed to act like you are still back home, right? And I get it. Because imagine if a bunch of Americans went to Saigon and acted like Vietnamese people, spitting everywhere, yelling on their phones, peeing on everything. I guarantee you'd see Reddit full of people. These stupid foreigners are ruining Vietnam. They're peeing on everything. It's like, have you never like went outside, bro? When you live in District 2 in a 5-star hotel, then home house or some shit? Like, have you not been outside? Look at the locals, dude. Like, it's such a weird thing.
About it, no other government tells us to behave in a way but
That's crazy, bro. Again, you can just call this Vietnam. Oh, that's Malacca, Malaysia. This is Malacca. This is right off the Rabbit Road. I recognize this whole thing. It's all Chinese too, by the way.
For places, search interest for food medicine at one level. I took for second information of local development and you know, what allows
Yep. The jump picture, you know what gets me? Like, what is the most annoying thing you guys see them take pictures of? I think for me, it's the food. Like, if you go on a date with a Vietnamese, you already order a bunch of food, it's like, don't touch anything. 20 minutes of fucking photos. Why? Take a picture of what it looks like when it comes out. That would be funny, right? It's so weird. Like, coffee. I had coffee today. Bitch, everybody has coffee in Vietnam, okay? There's 3 on every block. Like, stop it. It's so weird to me. I think Chinese people are taking the survey. Or just people don't complain. I remember this. This Chinese lady lost her shit on the airplane. She's cute. Nani?
Now, one of those American tourists, like the information of its selection guide. Everything I described, the fresh flow, the raw luxury goes to the mouth. Stereo was everywhere, it's okay, it must change.
So 2 generations Japanese act civilized abroad. China's on 4. And they're still like acting this way.
So, well, needs to be astronaut.
Yeah, this is what Chinese tourists is what's keeping Vietnam tourism alive. When you hear people say that Western white people are destroying Vietnam, the YouTubers in Vietnam are bringing in too many Westerners. It's destroying the economy. No, it is Chinese people. Open up an AI. Anybody, any AI, and just type in there, what was Vietnam's 2025 tourism by demographic? I've talked about this endlessly. It's a big part of it. The Vietnam isn't on there. Vietnam actually removed the visa-free access from China because of all the problems. Uh-huh.
But that was
This is kind of a Vietnam's the same thing too. If the government says hate a country, all the people start burning that thing. Like iPhone's bad, Apple's bad, America bad. So people would start breaking their iPhones on TikTok, and then a week later they buy a new iPhone on a credit using a credit card. It's just such low IQ shit. So low IQ. So low IQ.
Room approval is still there. The account database still
I always found that funny. China's trying to claim Philippine water area. What's Thailand?
The market versus destination, but don't manage.
I mean, honestly, you guys let me know. I think the world should just ban China, accept the loss of money, rebalance the cost of everything in life, and just let China be China. Like, seriously. Just let China figure their own, like, they are so, I don't get it, bro.
It also means to show the forces. The government's finance government. They're absent. And it's just a couple of
Indians are starting to be a heavy tourist group in Thailand. What was the other one? Thailand, Vietnam, and I see some out here in Kampot. Not a lot. I think in Kampot it's mostly like Chinese and white people, really.
In the economy, it's the third biggest in the world, but 2035.
China's economy is not the largest. I'm sorry, bro. They live on facades. Yeah.
Versus the early generations teach.
Yeah. Check out this video, man. It's there's a lot more to this. We just spent what, like 10 minutes watching a 20-minute video per se. But definitely check it out. He's a doctor. That's cool. But yeah. Feels that way. Retire. Oh yeah, somebody sent me. They said I should research retire. You guys remember this girl? Like plastic face calling all foreigners losers. When you look at retire, you just get this guy. This guy is on.
Okay, welcome back to
Look how nasty the air is. The comments are my favorite, dude. Like the amount of people that just like ride this guy's dick is insane. This guy's writing fucking Bible verses on here. It's the same guy 4 times. There's more good here in the Philippines in terms of government system. No, it's not. You know what the difference is? This is just a hot take. You don't like it, eat my butt. The difference between the Philippines and America when it comes to the government and Westerners is the Philippines is starting to go directly after Westerners on like taxation and shit like that and other corruption. Where in Vietnam, it's a byproduct. They're not directly going after Western or foreigners. They're going after Vietnamese, which is byproductly hurting Westerners. Think about like if you want to come to Vietnam and visit, yeah? And you want to live here. They're making it harder to keep your SIM card longer than 3 months. The Vietnamese person has to register you every 30 days, which could bring red flags to the government. They're making it harder to do any kind of banking and shit like that. I think they just announced Apple Pay now in Vietnam, but they're making it so hard. The Philippines is directly after the foreigners, where Vietnam isn't so direct. Oh, they're starting to call him out. Yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you guys like on this one. I know people get angry when I talk shit about people. I don't give a fuck. I feel like people like Evan are stuck. He can't afford to go back to Canada. He can't bring a family of 4 back to Canada and survive. He doesn't seem to really have many talents beyond teaching English anymore. Right? I mean, 7, 8 years abroad. Your resume's cooked, bro. In Canada, you can't even apply for like any social programs if you've been out of the country more than a couple of years. I've had a few Canadians actually tell me this. So I don't know. I find people like him are just fucking cooked. This guy's asking legitimately, you've done videos before about retire here, do this, do that, but things are changing. What is your plan? Oh, you moved. So you're just going to keep running? This is your advice to the people that for some fucking reason buy your little travel guides. You're going to sell people on this idea, and then when it doesn't work for you, you're just going to leave. You know what this reminds me of? Reminds me of this one guy that's in trouble right now. And you're like, let me find it. Right here. So Andrew Tate busted lawyer exposed embarrassing financial truth. This is what I feel like Evan is. This is where like people like Will Travel are in. Like they sell these ideas and fantasies of like, hey, everything is good. I got this and that. Everything's fine. But they're not. Like they're not fine. It's all a scam to sell you a program. Granted, Evan's not selling Hustlers University or some dumb shit like I hope not. But he's selling a fantasy. And I think it's very, very dangerous. You have 500. I don't think Evan has 500,000. I think this is a lie. I think a lot of these people mislead people. Evan does not have $500,000 sitting around liquid. I'm sorry. He would not be living in a third world country in a shitty city with one of the highest pollution rates in Asia. How do you, like, I don't get it. If you have kids, what do you want to bring your kids abroad back to your country, give them a better life, better education, better environment, better health, better everything? Not live in a dictatorship fucking communist nation that's oppressing the people. He does not have 500,000. I call it levels of bullshit. This guy bragged like 5 or 6 months ago about making $2,000 on YouTube. Like he did a video bragging about $2,000. Yet 500K is just like, whatever. No, he doesn't. I guarantee you he doesn't. This is like Don Johnson level of lying at this point. Like Don Johnson, he's living on a Social Security check, living in a third world country, used the savings to have his wife rent a plot of land. And now he sits at home insulting foreigners because he's cool. Like these people are lost, bro. Here we go. Vietnam government cracking down performing increased immigration checks with surprise visits to businesses, hotels, condos, usually at night. They are cracking down people working without a permit, and they are also cracking down on people with business visas that are not fully. Yeah, I've talked about this a lot. Vietnam is cracking down on DT4. You guys hear Ken Dong and all these people talking about like get a business visa, DT4 investor visa, start a company. The government is starting to hit heavy on these. You will most likely be audited by month 12 or 13, guaranteed almost by month 18. And if you are not producing a level of profit or legitimacy, they'll either revoke you or put you on a probational period, say you need to up it. So when you hear a lot of these YouTubers saying, I'm going to do a consulting firm, where I like, you guys call me for $50 an hour and I tell you what to do in Vietnam. That's my business model in Vietnam. The government's starting to say, no, that's not a business model we accept anymore. You had your fun for the fucking year, go back to where you're from, right? So people like Evan, Will's Travel, I hate to say it, but Travis, these people are living a fantasy at this point because it is being cracked on. And the raids is real. I've had a lot of people in Da Nang. Actually, I think I have images of it. It was like a week ago in Da Nang and Saigon where people are getting raided at 2 a.m. now at their fucking houses. I'm talking about married people I know living in Saigon that are having the local wards knocking on their door at 2 a.m. demanding passport and registration information because they're there. And it's not just a one-time thing, it's happening over and over. Let me see if I have that image. Hold on. Where did I fuck, dude? I have so many images. Hold on. Let me, because I believe it is very important. This was the one that happened in Da Nang like 3 days ago. But the local police raided 3 hostels in Da Nang this past week. And when I say raided, it's not like they went in there, give us your books, motherfuckers. No Denzel Washington shit's going on. It's just like, hey, how you guys doing? We're just checking out your registration. Can we see your books? They sit down, they do their thing. No big deal. And if there is any issues, they educate the people on how. Where did I, give me a sec here. Why do I look so handsome today? My song. Am I in Vietnam now? I can't actually say where I don't say when I go to Vietnam. It's too tricky. I was in Vietnam recently though, yeah. Oh, but David, you're blacklisted. Eat my balls. Eat my balls. Okay, how do I do this? Hold on. I found the images. Let me move them in. It does work. Okay, so this was in Da Nang, like a couple of days ago. This is the Starfish Hotel. So the police came in, and apparently they started going through the books. And again, these are just local ward police. These aren't like anything too heavy, nothing major. They're just checking the books. Look at that gut. But they're just looking at books. They're talking to foreigners. Let me see your passport. What's going on? He's going through a bunch of his like, registration, shit like that. This is becoming normal as fuck in Da Nang right now. They're not going after the white people. They're going after just foreigners and Vietnamese businesses that aren't following the rules. Because every time they find somebody that is not legitimately registered correctly, the government fines them X dollars. I don't know how much it is for this particularly, but they fine them some money. And this puts fear on them. Where Vietnamese like, I don't want to deal with it. This is why, remember that guy, and I'm trying to give you guys case studies, because I know Biddy will just like, David's talking out of his ass, and that's fine. I don't know what to tell you guys anymore. Like, people that don't believe me and switch their head over to Evan and shit like that, I don't know what to tell you people no more. The writing is all over the fucking place. But this guy, like, he did a video where, and he didn't say anything about this. It was just, you could see what was happening. He wasn't understanding it much. I know, we all know. But he was trying to find a condo or some shit like that. And he was negotiating like 6 months, 12 months, stuff like that. And the owners at like 5 different condos straight up said, no, we'll give you a discount for 6, maybe 3 months. That's it. Or 3 months, maybe 6 months. No 1-year discounts. That shit doesn't happen anymore because they know if they re-register this guy or anybody that's not Vietnamese at a house or a hotel for a long period of time, because they have to redo this every month. Now, this is a rule. They have to update the registration every fucking month if somebody stays past 30 days. This is a very fast process. It takes a Vietnamese person like 10 seconds. It's a phone app. They can do it on VidiID if they own the home, right? It's very fast. But it's the process of, if they do this like 20 different times, meaning 20 months, they might call the owner, but hey, why do you have this American or Canadian or whatever at your residential house as a rental? What's going on? Is he like on a work permit? And then they might just come to you. Be like, hey, how's it going, bro? We're just checking documents. Can we see your work permit? I don't have one. Okay, you have passport? Yeah, no problem. Oh, tourist speaking. What are you doing here? Just, I do need to, oh. You don't work as a teacher? No. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day, sir. The owner's gonna get a phone call. You need to remove that guy after 30 days. He is not supposed to be here. He's on tourist visas, he's doing visa runs, you're breaking rules. All right? Get rid of him or we're gonna start finding him. This is the conversation happening right now. I have verified this with Hanoi authorities. This is what's happening. So, like I said, they're not going after Westerners directly. It's just what it is. They're going after Biden directly or indirectly. Evans is, yeah, a lot of them are. I heard Will Travel. Somebody sent me one of his live streams like a month ago. I never like played it online, but I played the section they sent me to look at, and he was like e-begging. He's like, I'm the one that brings everybody here. I'm the Don of Da Nang. Why don't you guys join my membership group or donate to me or buy my travel guide? I just made a new food guide or some shit. Why don't you guys pay for that? Right? These guys are starting to get that desperate, right? Like it's starting to show. Evan's starting to show. The man that bragged about making $2,000 on YouTube is over here talking about he's got $500,000 that he can just drop into an American stock fund. Bro, you got fired out of all your jobs in America, dude. Look at my thumbnail. It's after you. This stuff is weird, man. And don't forget they change the rules on a regular, they don't know. This is false. They are updating and enforcing rules. Understand registration, SIM card, biometrics, banking, all this shit has been around for like 2 to 3 years. They're just enforcing it with administration updates. You guys remember the Ken Dome did a video where he was saying, if you act stupid, they'll deport you. Here's a new decree, right? That wasn't a new decree. They administratively updated the decree so it showed the immigration officers, hey, if somebody crosses your path at immigration at the border, be it land or air, train or both, and their visa's expired, this is the process you have to follow. Okay? That's all you gotta do. That's all that visa was. If you were walking around Da Nang or Hanoi or some shit like that with your shirt off going, I'm weird, they're gonna think you're Vietnamese for the most part. But two, you might get a fine. You might get in trouble. They might send you back to the hotel and say, bro, calm the fuck down. Now give us $300K for being a dickhead. If you attack somebody, you walk out on a bill, you're gonna be criminally charged. If you get deported after that, sure, that's related to the crime. That's not Decree 86 or whatever it was. Is it Decree 86? That would be funny if it was, because, 86 means get the fuck out. But, yeah, these people, I think Ken Dog is like Andrew Tate's lawyer. They just mom fear people and they take the truth and exaggerate the living shit out of it. So it scares people or it rage baits people. But the rules aren't really changing. They're just being updated and enforced more. Today, but maybe not tomorrow. People need to understand this. They are making such a big life move. Yeah. This is a great comment, dude. This is actually a really smart comment. And I'm sure Evan's ignoring it too. This is actually a really smart comment. I don't know who the fuck this guy is, but he has to be one of the smartest people I've seen on Evan's comment section. Remember somebody used to like talk shit to me on Evan's comment sections? So I did a video about the guy. I ended up like using AI to go through all of Evan's videos for the last 2 years. And every time that commenter popped up, the agent I was using would take the comment, put it into a database, and then it told me who he was based off the stories that the guy said. He ended up being some old fat guy from California that liked to look at porn and pretty much was writing Evan's D. It's crazy who a lot of these people are that follow him. But yeah, he's ignoring that comment. Yeah, this is a big one here. You seldom mention, what is this comment calling him, stupid? Huh? Yeah, I'm actually with this guy, like, what? Your section you seldom mention that the fact that people have to do a visa run every 3 months for the rest of their life. That's stressful. It is. This is something people don't comprehend. Visa runs are not as fun as they sound. The first year, sure. Go to Malaysia, go to Japan, Singapore, Philippines, hang out. Do the little Lynn Visa bus, have the experience, all this and that. It fucking dies out, dude. It becomes stressful. I think Travis did a video recently about flying to Bangkok and back. He spent like $400 or $500 to do a visa run, right? So he spends, if he does that every time, he spends like $1,800 to $2,000 a year on fucking immigration paperwork. People like Will Travel does the Lynn Visa shit, right? For the most part. He spends like $400 to $500 a year on immigration paperwork just to be there as a tourist, mind you. Costly comes with permanent insecurity about whether you'll be back just because you know that you passed doesn't mean things won't change. Just look at Thailand. Yeah, you could be denied entry, new home country. Yeah, Thailand has been refusing people DTV visas if they can't prove income, which I understand. It's a 5-year tourist visa. You better have some fucking money to live in Thailand for 5 years if you can't legally work there. So I understand why Thailand did that. The comment was, rest of your life, things change, think about it. Yeah, this is a dumb comment. And 3 people liked it. This is who you guys are listening to? I'm not trying to like start a movement against anybody, but come on, guys. Like the dick riding is so, now I'm just saying bad words, but the dick riding is just insane for this guy. What do you say, Lux? He's a salesman? He's a car salesman? Yeah. He's actually, and I will give him credit where it's due. This guy can sell fucking water to an Eskimo. Or ice to an Eskimo. Is that the phrase? Vietnam has a fact. No, it doesn't. No, Vietnam's economy is collapsing. Well, it's going down. 70-some% of their exporting GDP last year was from FDI companies, meaning the money never stayed in Vietnam. Vietnam is not doing it economically. Yeah, I don't know, man. Y'all follow this stuff. That's on you. Great. I mean, I usually say take things with a grain of salt, but I mean, I would take this with like a thought of salt. Like, don't even get to the salt yet. He always uses the same words too. No. And that's the thing, too. You have to understand what you're sacrificing. If you're going to leave America, or he's from Canada, right? If you leave Canada, it's cheaper, but at what cost, right? You're giving up your healthcare values. You're giving up safety nets that you might have back in your home country. Food quality is way different, right? If you want to live on like $150 a month on food, you're going to sacrifice. I'm sorry. Look at people like Will Travel. He's not getting healthier. He's gaining weight in Vietnam. You see a lot of these people gaining weight in Vietnam. I gained weight. Like I showed you guys before. When I left, like well, there's my weight right now. When I left Vietnam, or I'm sorry, when I left America, I weighed right about 82 kilos, 84. It's in that ballpark. After 2 years of Saigon, I was at about 95. Sure, I was drinking a lot, eating a lot of, but I was always eating Vietnam food. That's the thing. And I was also drinking a lot, right? It's not always the same path. It's about control, right? Like I drank in America, Vietnam, it was like 10 cents a beer. Fuck off, let's roll, right? You go to a bar in America, you get a Blue Moon, it's like $8. You go to Vietnam, $8 will buy you 2 boxes of beer. 48 beers, right? So things can definitely have Will getting bigger, staying unhealthy, right? But you got people like Kevin that are actually doing good. Evan, he's staying about the same, right? Enoch looks about the same, still kind of big. Like you really have to take into account what you're sacrificing when you move. It's about what you do, right? Well, when I saw the Kevin video of him leaving Vietnam, he's like, I'm in Vietnam, I'm getting healthier, I'm losing weight. I'm losing the weight, guys. I'm eating healthier. Why couldn't you do this in New York? Here's a news flash for the world. Everybody watching this that hates America. America has the largest selection of fresh fruit in the entire fucking globe ever. Ever. The concern, the issue, is America has the largest marketing campaigns for fast food. We have more whole food farmers markets in America per capita than any other country in the world. Go to Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Alabama, New York even, Manhattan, Bronx area. There's so many, what do you call farmers market shops? Healthy food spots. Yeah, they cost a little more. But you're not living in a third world country like Vietnam. You're not living in India, bro. You're not living in shitty China. All right? It's gonna be more. The minimum wage in America is not 82 cents an hour like it is in Vietnam. Right? But these are things that have to be considered. You're gonna sacrifice your health, your sanity. You're gonna lose connections with people. I'm guaranteed you, Evan can't sit down with his wife and have a normal conversation like he's talking to a Canadian woman. They just don't touch bases like that. These bases never do happen. I've seen it so many times with Australians marrying Vietnamese. They speak English. The Australian guy speaks Vietnamese, but there's always that disconnect when you really need it, right? It's kind of weird. But again, don't take my advice for it, man. Go to Vietnam and hang out for a few months. Find out what's cracking. You know, you could be like Don Johnson, move out there for like a month and just marry somebody randomly and then you're retired. And then just live and disconnect the rest of your life. I would never want to live a richer life, be it in a mindset of depression. I would hate that. I was telling you guys earlier about that Hayden girl, right? What is her name? Hayden. Yeah, the girl that died recently. And her, like, read her book. It's fucking good. She just released it like 3 months ago. But she was rich. She was a famous actress. Yet her entire life was depression. The money wasn't the problem. She was married and dating people that just didn't understand her. Now imagine coming to a third world country. It's 10 times worse, bro. 10 times worse. But I don't know, man. These are things that people should take into account. If you're going to move abroad, there's sacrifices you're going to have to adapt to. And he doesn't talk about this shit. He really doesn't. But he gets these dick writers in here that are like, great message. It's a borderline cult. The math. No. On top of that, where are you even making that money? Like I've seen a lot of people. Kevin did this. I'm gonna get a job or start a business in Vietnam. That's how I'll supplement my money, right? There's no job options in Vietnam, bro. And if you start a business, it's getting fucked with, bro. They're cracking down on that stuff because a lot of people are doing it for the visa. It's a common practice. There's also a common practice for foreigners getting education visas so they can live in Vietnam while they take language classes. The government knows. I think Evan's videos are 100% about being reckless. I don't think he's a very smart person when it comes to finances. I don't think he's a very smart person when it comes to giving life advice. He's just not the person I would listen to. I wouldn't listen to Ty Lopez on investing, right? I wouldn't listen to Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, on how to be healthy. You know why, right? I wouldn't listen to Andrew Tate on how to date women. You know why, right? I wouldn't listen to Evan when it came to financial retirement or moving abroad. I wouldn't listen to Ken Dome about starting a business. Right? Because they have no plateau or soapbox to respect. It's all chaos, bro. Evan's a moron. I don't get it, man. But hey, y'all do what you gotta do. I'm not here to like play games. Like this Army guy was another example of just low IQ. This Army guy is just hiding from things. Like he's running from something. I don't know, ex-wife, bad job.
If you have dollars, it's
A bad credit score. I don't know what the fuck he's running from, but it's bad. Like this guy's just all over the place. Doing vlogs like he's 25. Like this guy does like 25-year-old vlogs like he's a kid. This guy's like 40 something, bro. Oh, this guy's tenfold loser back home. We gotta look at this. Tenfold. And I don't think it's a financial reason. I think it's just like he's just not. The American dream for him is taking his American money and going to a third world country. So he's an American leech. He's no different than an illegal immigrant stealing. Yeah, he just sounds like Evan. This guy's an idiot, dude. One of his comments, I want to be like you one day. I want to be overweight and disgusting. People are jealous. Like, where is your... No, man, like, I don't get this, man. At least Evan has a wife and kids. Mr. Shang. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Shang is in the same boat as this guy at this point. I don't know. I just find it weird, man. I find it weird. Who are the normal ones here? Let's check here. Oh, I can't just type KT. He's becoming famous. I don't have to type the whole name no more. He does live streams, right? How much money? Yeah, I never understand. QR code. Hey, hit the like button. Kick all you on the butt. You want to help my channel though? Read our book. Check out the fitness. Oh yeah. And the travel guide right here. It's free. It's 100% free. If you click it, it loads the travel guide. There is no catch. I'm a horrible salesman, right? Yeah, it's all there. Go grab it. It's all free, homie. BrunoFitness.com. I like reading the comments in here. I'm a comment reader. This is common. This is where I think people like Evan are at. They can't afford to go back home. How much does it cost to raise a family of four in Canada? Like, I'm thinking of America, it could be like $2,000 to $4,000 a month. See, Tacoma. Yo, I heard the Narrows Bridge broke down. Is that true? Because I remember they rebuilt it like a long time ago. I heard it fell again. Like it's in a weird area. Has a lot of like, what do you call it? Weather issues. I like how there's a bot that harasses his viewers. Apparently you can't use emojis. Turkey! Shithole. There's so many Turkish people out here. Yeah, you need all your documents verified if you're trying to be like a teacher. Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. Don't mean to be boring on that one. I just don't see the point. I find it funny that Vietnam can beat every team, but they can't beat China. Look at the last like 3 or 4 football games where they played China. They always lose like 0-3 or some shit. But they beat everybody else. It's so weird. What the hell is this fruity stuff? What is this? Oh, my eyeball. Yeah. What was that one guy's name abroad? No, shit. Vietnam. That teacher guy. Was an ordinary day like in Vietnam. Definitely not that. Why I left Mexico for Vietnam? That's interesting. I know Mexico's getting more, like, I have friends that, they were finance investors back in the day, but they bought property in, what do you call it? Mexico City. They've been telling me over the years it's getting a little more pricier. $3,000 a year budget, that's crazy. That's not abnormal though. Oh, this was a couple days ago. I like this guy's videos.
We're in the Vietnam that most Americans never see. Once a year. Well, you're apartment, doing another job.
No. See, this is the thing too. Let me be an asshole for a minute and explain Vietnam culture when it comes to, like, when you hear that. They want to get welfare. They want to get free money. What is she gonna do in America? Be a hairstylist? No. They want their kids to marry Americans. So they could go over there and get on that sweet Social Security number, that sweet Social Security check. And this is a very common thing. When this is a kind of an off story, but when I went back to America back in 2022, I went to go see some of my uncles and stuff. They're all, much older and stuff like that. And I didn't realize this. A lot of them were just living on credit cards and now their kids have to pay off and they were living on like government money their entire lives. And it wasn't just them. It's everybody. They were laughing. They're like, bro, this is normal. Merced, California, Orange County, you get over to Missouri, St. Louis, the Vietnamese community, that's all they do. And it's a crazy thing. Not Ninja Teacher, the scam guy. Alex, no. What is he even doing anymore? I'm sure his business is fine. Because he's kind of the middleman. He's just selling Tefls. He's not worried about the economy. The opportunity here. Yeah, he made a good business plan. No, he doesn't really do anything anymore. I get it though. The fuck?
I love living here.
He's never left the village before, he's never met a foreigner before. What does she think about foreigners?
Just outside
Like
of
they all had dentures. Did you guys see that?
misunderstood countries in the world, but it's also one of the most
Not misunderstood.
And here, people often want more. And another to sleep on, and pretty much anything can be on the menu.
See, this is one thing about Vietnam. People say misunderstood. This is what poverty looks like. This is what a lot of third world countries deal with. When you see Vietnam, a lot of people go to Saigon, Da Nang, and Hanoi, shit like that. Sure, it looks fucking amazing, it's advanced, everything's so modern, yada, yada, yada. This is not Vietnam. This type of lifestyle is Vietnam. The fact that she speaks English is kind of surprising. Vietnamese do not speak very good English at all, if any, when you leave the city areas. It's very rare. But you might have she probably went to like Saigon University. Where is this? Does he say? Yeah, it doesn't really say. Of course, I bet their social medias are just pictures of coffee and food. Let's be real. Yeah, see, it's always pictures of not showing their face. It's just dumb shit. I don't know, man. Like if you're in Vietnam, look at Tinder. It's like every profile is like 80% pictures of food or the back of their head. It's kind of weird. Yeah, let's critique this a little. We're not gonna watch 30 minutes.
But almost nobody seems to travel away from the singers. He decided to do just that.
That one guy did.
What happens if you fall?
What makes locals learn about their culture
What is that guy's name?
like in this beautiful country.
I hear food.
No. Oh my god.
Is there something
in the first books.
It's 100 degrees out.
Folks work in rice fields. They were already gathered and watching the World Cup. They don't.
They take that shit serious, bro.
Just soccer is that big in Vietnam.
Football's serious in Vietnam, bro. Like I love the nationalists. behavior behind it. It's fucking awesome.
People use the drones,
Yeah.
but we shut in the field.
That's not dangerous, really? For now, we build your water. Okay, only we have to use real pesticides to spray. This is something that you never think about when you grow rice. But you really have to spray chemicals on these fields, and this made us really appreciate the farmers who bring the food to the table.
Oh, this is bullshit. No, bro. They pesticide the fuck out of shit. If you go to the lot, the strawberry fields, go during the pre-winter season. They also, when they burn crops, they'll throw trash. They won't fill the farm with it, but they do burn trash. Something that happens is locals will bring their trash to the farmers and give them like $5K, and they'll burn it for them. It's cheaper than having the government take their trash. So it's kind of like a community burn thing.
Telling me that my husband.
And I believe it was the UK or Thailand where they ended up investigating rice from different Asian countries. And they, you take rice, you put it in water, put it in a microscope, test it for chemicals. And Vietnam actually failed. Vietnam and China failed like every test. And the UK put a ban on exports or imports from Vietnam if they don't pass a certain threshold. And their threshold is twice as weak compared to America's. America doesn't even accept rice from Vietnam, damn near. Majority of the rice that comes from Asia that goes to America comes from Thailand, right? But pesticides is a real thing in Vietnam, bro. It's actually a very serious problem.
This channel to show that life is not only possible.
Ours? Is it normal?
Yeah. Watching TV.
Romance. Oh,
Sleep most of the day. And in their favor, there's nothing to fucking do. If you're a farmer, you end up getting like 3 to 4 months off. A lot of farmers, like in Fontier, on the off season, they'll become fishermen. So it just depends on the family because they don't really have anything. Once they retire, the government gives them like $2 to $4 a month at best. And that's not even all of them. That's just some of them.
you sleep too, truly.
Yeah, and this house is way too clean. They eat everything in this farm side. Like dog hunters are very common. Like when you get to like the village side, like when I live, like I think I've said this before. I need more coffee. I had a beautiful dog. She had 9 puppies. Like we populated, not me and the dog, but I'm saying fuck, that came out wrong. But she had 9 puppies over her lifespan. And 2 of them are still alive to this day, but the rest of them, including her, got stolen by Vietnamese people. And it always happened during Tet. And they go in there, they beat the shit out of them, they gut them, or I'm sorry, they defer them and they cook them alive. Or sometimes they kill them first, but it's a very common thing to see. Rat is not abnormal. When I was in a light show, this is a long time ago, bro. We're talking like 2016. There was this market near me, and they used to have like dog everywhere, like dog heads and shit everywhere. And when you order food, like if you got food, like you go to the restaurant, because a lot of what light show is like takeaway. There isn't a Grab or anything out there. There's not even a taxi service really. There's like 2 taxi drivers back in the day there. This is before Grab, obviously. But it wouldn't be weird to find plastic or like rat feed or some shit in your food. I'm not joking. It was very common. This is why I've always made the joke that the healthiest food in Vietnam is canned beer and McDonald's, because at least it's like monitored, you know what I mean? But for them to eat like anything, it's very, very fucking common. This house is way too clean though.
Okay.
Is he gonna go pee?
Town hall kind of thing.
He's about to go pee somewhere. Oh, he's gonna go inside.
My name is. Once the coffee was being served, Corey and I really didn't understand. So you don't really need to understand everything they have.
Look how much, damn, bro, this is a sugar bomb. Look at all that sugar. Like, I recommend following this guy. I love this guy's channel. He really does bring in Vietnam's culture. Like, well, he shows it I don't feel like he understands a lot of it, but he shows it, which is really cool.
Corey, I really didn't.
I'm trying to spell that.
Like that.
Yeah, look at all the, there is like 2/3 is condensed milk. That's a sugar bomb, dude. KT, what's up, man? Congratulations, by the way. I heard you got married. What do you call that in America? The old ball and chain. That's awesome though, man. Reborn. That's what his name is. Reborn Abroad. That's like a little scam artist, dude. Reborn Abroad. Because he like switches out. Yeah, yeah. He's always trying to tell people to teach with no degree. And when people question him, he tells them to go fuck themselves. And this Hollywood guy's pretty weird too. He gives me Tate Epstein vibes, bro. Oh man, he's going to the West. I'm curious about that. Yeah, this guy's a shit show, man. But I mean, again, he sells. I'm gonna just start lying at this point. No, I'm not. But I mean, it's like the ones that really crush it in Vietnam YouTube are typically just retarded or they lie. And sometimes they're kind of in the middle. Like I don't even. And it's just it's. There's going to be a lot of broken hearts and sad people in 2027. Like I think by Q3 of 2027, there's going to be a lot of sad people. You know, a lot of these people selling everything to move to like Vietnam, not realizing what's happening, then they can't go home because they don't have anything left. People that are, I know you're in here, KT, nothing against you, man, but people that are coming out to Vietnam to get married for the green card per se, thinking that everything's just going to be how it was before COVID, like that's false. Like it's nuts to me. The employment shit, the average teaching salary is down to about $820, $130 a month on average nationally for English teachers that are native. And it's even getting harder to get a job. If you've got a job right now as an English teacher, do not get rid of it. At least get another job first so you can kind of like, you know, transition over. Do not quit thinking you'll find another one. It's getting fucking hard. And the thing about Vietnam is they'll promise you X dollars, X days, X what, right? But after 2 or 3 months, they start cutting your hours. They start hiring Russians or Filipinos, and they start offering your hours to save on costs, overhead costs. But you're on contract. Get over it, right? Remember the pandemic when all that shit locked down? Schools were just firing teachers with no warning. Native teachers, Vietnamese teachers, right? And what the fuck is this? I can't tell if this is an ant or a flea. It flies too. Maybe it's a. Anyways, I'm distracted. Yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, that's a lot of fucking condensed milk, dude. What was that? I've been good, but dude, seriously, I feel good. Like, just kidding. Like, I was actually, so I was back in Vietnam a few weeks ago, and then I was talking to some friends of mine yesterday on Skype, or not Skype, but Zalo, that were in Hanoi. I'm gonna tell you, man, when I went back, I got fucking angry like immediately, bro. But I didn't eat anything almost, for one. The noise was pissing me off. The honking all the fucking time. And then we ended up going out to Fontaine. I went to Central and Blasi. Fucking hated it. I fucking hated it. Fastest 4 days ever. That's why I retired this last school year. Getting jobs are tougher now than ever. Yeah, I mean, honestly, like my advice for people that are already out there, save everything. Start working on plan B, whatever the fuck that is. Doing your own business, going back home, whatever. And people that get married, you know, you should really be having a plan B if you're getting married in Vietnam. So when you have kids, bring them back home. Give them a fucking opportunity, man. Vietnamese are leaving Vietnam in record numbers this last 3 years because they want opportunity. They're going to Australia, Japan, Malaysia, America, Canada. New Zealand starting to get a lot. But yeah, plan B, bro. I think by Q3 2027, shit's going to be fucking weird. Like, I could talk about it now, but I don't think anybody would believe me. Like, David, you are a Alex Jones of Vietnam at this point. Like, dude, I said this shit 3 years ago. People thought I was crazy. I still got emails from back then. Vietnam is a capitalist free country. They did it better than America. Yeah, how's that going? You know what I mean? Like, it's such a weird thing, but it's entertaining.
Examples of how you don't really need to understand everything they have at the time. More than Kevin.
Did you guys all stop talking at the same time? Jesus fuck.
He said he would deliver to
Are you kidding? That's what I hate going to, like, unless I'm drunk. I don't like going to Vietnamese parties or weddings because it's like 400 people talking at once. And then everyone starts getting louder. And then they turn the karaoke on, turn it even louder. And then they start yelling. It's like, ugh. You think with somebody that grew up in a Vietnamese culture, I would be more lenient, more tolerant. That's a better word. Vietnamese people in America are not the same. Vietnamese in Germany are not the same. Like, that's the one thing about Hanoi. Like, I got to meet a lot of VitQ, like 3slash people in Hanoi that were from Germany. They're all in their 5-year Vietnam exemption books, right? Awesome people, smart guys, smart girls. Actually, I met a couple of girls too, females too. Very smart, intelligent, doing good for themselves. Smart. I mentioned that. Respectful. And even they were like, yo, these people are fucking like monkeying out. Like they're yelling and throwing shit everywhere, blah, blah. And it's just like, it's so weird. You think I'd be more tolerant though, but like there's a reason. Like if you guys speak Vietnamese, get on Facebook. Look up, it's called 3-. This is the 3Q. This is VitQ, mind you. This is a derogatory term. It's like saying the N-word to a black guy or calling a Jew. I'm not going to say all these terms, but you know what I mean. It's derogatory towards Vietnamese abroad. It's a very hateful term that goes back to Ho Chi Minh himself, right? They hate them. They fucking hate them. And Vietnamese people, these people abroad, they do not like a lot of Vietnamese in Vietnam. They find them very uncivilized in the West. You hear about this a lot in, it's called, what is that city called? Merced, California. It's up north side. Merced, you'll see this a lot. When I was out in St. Louis, me and my stepfather were buying properties out there. This is a long time ago. And a lot of Vietnamese there. You could tell the distinction of difference. The Vietnamese that lived there for generations did not like the new ones. They felt they were just uncivilized. I can't say a lot of the words. Because then people start thinking it's racism. They start correlating. Like, I don't know, you say animals and people start correlating it to different nationalities. It's so dumb. I don't get it. But you know, actually, what is that animal that sleeps like 22 hours a day? That's what I would associate a Vietnamese to, sleeping all day. But it's kind of weird. But yeah, they are showing a better side. Like, even the river's clean. This isn't normal, dude. Go to the Mekong. It's fucking trashed outside the tourist area. 400 dogs everywhere is normal. This is actually a normal style house, though. It's usually a shack, like on a rice field. This stupid shit is normal.
Together, maybe a couple too many beers.
I hate the karaoke, bro. Because the thing is they try to be loud to show every, especially farmers and fishermen are the most obnoxious people in Vietnam when it comes to like community respect. They are the most obnoxious.
A beer and karaoke to help build one of our relatives.
A lot of these are like old people because there's no retirement. Vietnam's a socialist country with no socialist programs.
Shallow.
Like an apple.
On this cup.
Oh, that's like a sour apple. Gotta get the words in. I thought that was a grab jacket. I never, this is like a pet peeve of mine. In Vietnam, to be a rich family, you'll buy like a dining table. It's that Chinese oak shit, fucking uncomfortable shit. They will buy it to look rich, but they'll eat on the floor. I never got into this shit. You're not only swapping spit with everybody and their grandma because it's like a community grab all. Like they don't have separate chopsticks and spoons for what's on the thing. You just use the one you shoved in your mouth or your butt or wherever you put it. And you just go. I find this disgusting. Like I love hot pot, but I'll never share it with anybody. Unless it's like bop or something. Fuck off. Order your own.
Your dream is to travel around the world.
Yeah.
Too late, lady. Your government said no. That's why I retired last year. Getting jobs are tougher. Plus, the companies had deteriorated so much and said, yeah, schools like ILA are falling apart. I said this like 2 years ago. Like I did a video about like English centers I think will survive in 2025, 2026. And what were they? EMG, VUS, and I think Apollo were the top three. I think. But the reason for it is because they're integrated into public sectors. EMG is an English center vibe, but you only teach in public schools. This is where the money's at for these schools. VUS started getting into it way before everybody else, and Apollo's actually not that bad. They're not the best, but they're way better than everything else. When I was in Hanoi, I got to go to a few of these. There was actually two of them near where I was working in a school called, what's that fucker's name? Scott School. I was helping with the curriculum. So I ended up going to two Apollo schools near this area. This is like the west side of Tejo, whatever. And I was helping them with like how their Arab teachers could teach English better to the students so they can learn better. And I noticed it there, it was really good. They gave them a curriculum, the schools are really clean. I think KT used to work there, actually. He might actually be able to correct me or enforce it, whatever. But I found these are really good. Why not ILA, right? Why not these other schools? Because ILA got into the public sector when it was too late. There was nothing left. So they had to take the smallest contracts. ILA used to be notoriously known as a high-paid school with the most foreigners in Asia. If you were Vietnamese and you sent your kids to ILA, you were considered the cool family. This is the Vietnam side of thinking, right? This is how it worked. When I opened my first school, I leveraged ILA as part of my marketing. I know what they think, right? It's just the game plan. But the problem with ILA is they had to take every school. So if you work at ILA right now, what will happen, and I know this for a fact, they will hire you for English center jobs, but they'll also send you to public schools. The thing about the public school is you're gonna have a separate salary. So it's not gonna be the $18 an hour. It might just be like $7 to $12 an hour, give or take. Plus you pay for your ride there. Schools like EMG will drive you there, give you the equipment. They'll give you the fucking laptop. EMG is by far the best school to work at. And if you get to the science department, just prove that you know like chemistry, physics and shit like that, you'll be fine. Like I have a computer engineering degree. I was immediately brought in. I made like 40% more than the English center side because they have the English center department, the science department. I had a friend of mine, John, amazing guy. He was making like 80 or 90 million a month as a science teacher. He was there for like 2 years, I think. Crushed it. I was making right about 75, I think it was. Like I used to withdraw all my money every salary, like they put it in the bank account, and I would just have stacks of this shit and I send it back home. I had a friend of mine that was sending it to my crypto wallet. This is how I kept investing while I was in Saigon. I was pulling out like, what, 55, 60 million every month. I remember I used to work at this school called WinU. It's in District 3. Shitty fucking school. It's all government spoiled fucking kids. Hated every one of them. Dude, government kids are horrible. Working in international schools that also bring government children in is such a stressful job. They're so entitled. They don't give a shit. But when you're working at a high school, no, secondary school, it's even worse. But after I got out of class, it's always like I'm the second or third or something like that. Walk next door to the ATM and just rip out like 60 million BND. Walk out that bitch. Empty the ATM every month at the same time. Did that shit for like a year. But yeah, I don't know if you make that much there anymore, but those are my top three. But I don't know. Like I also hear EMG blacklist people now, so I don't know. It's Vietnam, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like I can tell you working at Intel Computers as an engineer, I fucking loved it. and my say will probably have some strong validity of how Intel acts today. But in Vietnam, you can't do that. I can't say like I worked at EMG back in 2019 or some shit. I don't know. I know some people that follow me used to work with me, but whatever it was, I'm sure EMG is not the same. Like the owner of EMG is a lady that's affiliated with the government, so she's always had pull, right? It's the same with ILA, but ILA, the guy, he's not that fond anymore. He used to be friends with the Sun Group guy. But yeah, it's kind of interesting, I guess. What was it, EMG, right? Yeah, I remember her talking about Blacklist. This is like, yeah, this is a long time ago. I don't think anybody does videos like this anymore, though. We'll look at it. I'm curious what he says. Yeah, nobody really does videos like this. This guy speak English? Oh, he's like a German. Beep, beep. Oh, shit, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, that's the thing about there's actually, like, KT's talking about, like, the deterioration and stuff like that. One problem, so I've seen the accounting books of Apollo. I've seen the accounting books of ILA. And I guess I can't get in trouble tomorrow. These schools, I'm not going to say which one particular, but these schools, majority of their students are on some kind of a discount to keep them there, right? They're not paying full ticket price anymore. You know, when you walk into an English center, they have those, I wonder if I have images I can show you guys. Because I used to have price tickets of like Apollo and all these schools. But they'll say like 3 to 5 million for a semester or a month or something like that. Most of the time when they sign up, they discount like 20, 30%. They have to keep them discounted or they lose them. And the parents take their kid to another English center that has a discount. And the problem with this is these kids never get past level 1 because they keep rinsing and repeating the same fucking book all day. You guys remember Friends and Family? Everybody remembers Friends and Family. Let me find it. I have so many pictures. Look at this fucking monk degenerate. I'm gonna put my feet on everything. Welcome to Vietnam, bitch. I saw this in Camp Pot. This is just hilarious to me. Stereotypes of America. Let 'em fly. I don't know if I have it. I've been moving images all fucking in place lately. Yeah, I've moved so many. This is Camp Pot when it rains. Like it just floods people out. The roads are gone. It's fucking crazy, bro. Yeah, a lot of these schools, though, that's what they do is they sign you up for like a year. You know, we'll pay you like 30 million a month. Benefits, free healthcare. Healthcare sucks. Vietnam's healthcare is some of the worst in Asia. Stop letting people lie to you guys. Ooh, it's so cheap and good. No, it's not. It's not even on the top 500 of anything. If you're gonna go get a blood work test or your temperature check or a vaccine, bro, you could go to fucking Ethiopia and get that done. It's not impressive. Like Vietnam's not even in the top 500 of anything hospitals in Asia. Fuck the West, Asia. It's horrible shit. So when they give you that health insurance, just like ask me if you can get food credits or some shit. Like, can I get free pho every Friday instead? But yeah. But after like 3 or 4 months, they start bringing in like Russians, Filipinos, and they start offloading your hours to them. When I was working in this small town, so I was in this town for like 2 months, working with like 7 different English centers. This is south of Da Nang. Let me show you guys. So I think it's a nice little area. It is called Quan Nai. Da train. So where's that river cut? There it is, right here. So this is a city called Kwanai. See if I get the fucking city in here. In a sec here. This is a town that is getting turned into a factory town. It's not showing the name. David, you're stupid. Shut up. But yeah, anyway, so I worked in the city. It's a pretty fucking good city. I like it. The beaches are pretty. Or the riversides. But when I was here, I was working at a bunch of English centers. Right in the central area. And what I noticed was what they would do is they'd hire like a European, a French guy, American, whatever. It was a big mix. But they would give them like 3 months, and then they started hiring Russians, telling the Russians to say you're from Canada or America or some shit like that, make up stories, right, to tell the parents. And they'd hire Filipinos. What would happen is these Westerners would be the face of the company. They'd be on the billboard. Look at any English center in most of Vietnam is some white guy. Because Vietnam has this idea of only white people speak English, right? Be a South African and tell Vietnamese kids you're from South Africa. It's going to be interesting what happens next, right? It's not racism, it's ignorance. There's just not a history, right? But they hired all these people to take the hours from the teacher, and they just kind of made the teacher the face. Because I noticed when I was in Kwanai, the city area, that a lot of the schools go around doing these public events at different public schools to get more students, and they'd always bring like some random American or British guy or something like that, girl, whatever, do the thing, get the students to sign up, give out flyers, give out free backpacks, whatever the fuck they're doing, right? It's marketing. But when they signed up at the school, when I had to go to these schools and help the teachers, like how to critically teach students was my main subject line, right? Most of the teachers were Arabs or Russians. When I say most, like 98%. The English teachers didn't really teach a lot. They taught on the weekends when the parents showed up, but Monday to Friday, it was mostly Russian teachers, Filipinos. The American guy or the British guy would have like 1 or 2 classes every day of the week. But Saturday and Sunday, the guy was loaded, right? That's when the parents were there. So it's kind of an interesting thing. But this is hurting the teaching thing. And it's a couple reasons why. One, the whole work permit process is getting hard. You need to now prove you have 2 years experience. If you work at ILA, hypothetically, and then you quit to go work at EMG, hypothetically, to get a 2-year letter of reference from ILA so you can go work at EMG is going to be very hard because they're not going to want to give it to you. Well, you're going to leave our school, go to that fucking school? Now we got to redo this work permit because you want to go to EMG? Fuck you. And it'll turn into drama. I've seen it. It's all over Facebook groups. Teachers dealing with this shit. It's fucking dumb. Like, if you're going to quit Vietnam, just leave and then come back anonymously. Don't even tell them. But that leads to a problem. Where do you get this 2-year letter? You can't show them a reference that, hey, I was at ILA. Look at my old work permit. They want ILA to actually do a form for you. It has to be notarized by the Vietnamese government. Right? So things like this, a lot of people that get university degrees that move to Vietnam have never been a teacher. So where do they get their reference letter from? Right? Talking 21-year-olds, right? You're talking 45-year-olds, right? The 45-year-olds were, I don't know, engineers, technicians, whatever, right? They weren't English teachers, so it's going to be really hard to like make that letter up. Sure, you could buy it from agents sometimes, but they're cracking down on a lot of this. And Vietnam just joined the apostate convention, whatever the fuck it's called. So you don't go to an embassy to get your things notarized. You have them all notarized at the post office, which is a hell of a process. And then from there, you're good to go. Do I still have those documents? It's on my Patreon. I showed this from the USA. I had a friend of mine when I used to work in the Saigon embassy. He sent me a bunch of the documents for it. I think it was like March 17th of 2025. I think it was the date, but they changed everything. So you can't go to the embassy to get your shit notarized as an American. But yeah, point being though, if you're a native English speaker, Vietnam is not a long-term solution. It used to be able to go just sell everything, move to Vietnam, be an English teacher, and just live there. Forever, live on that salary. It was enough. You were a fucking king. You're making 40, 50,000 VND, 40 to 50 million million a month, right? So you're making like 2,000 was pretty normal. Like my first job, I made like 2,300 a month. It was just a basic ass English learner. When I started, I went through 2 weeks of training. They paid me, yeah, it was like 5 million VND a month because I lived in my own house. They offered free teaching housing, which was actually a really nice house where all the teachers lived in. It was like it looked like a hotel or had different rooms, like private condos. But I had my own house already, so they gave me $250 some a month, right? Health insurance, it covered FV International Hospital, right? They endorsed our motorbike license permit fees. Like these were real benefits back in 2015. Non-existent now, bro. Now they brag, oh, we give you health insurance. Man, fuck that. That insurance sucks ass. I would rather go to fucking Nigeria as a Canadian to get heart surgery than take that shit from Vietnam. Like, I hope that example shows how crazy bad it is. Vietnam's health is bad. I know people say, oh, I went there and got blood work or surgery. Like, I think Travis got a surgery done there, and I'm glad he's okay. But he got surgery for a motorbike accident. Guess why most Vietnamese go to the hospital every year? Motorbike accidents. So he went in there for a normal surgery. Of course Vietnam's going to be good at this. It's the 5th reason why Vietnamese go to hospitals every year. Right? If a country's biggest problem is AIDS, I'm pretty sure the country's going to have a solution for it better than most other nations, right? I mean, hypothetically, you see what I'm saying? But I don't know, Vietnam and China are now rising above most African nations for HIV. Did you guys know that? Vietnam is on the top like 10 or 15 when it comes to like HIV infections through like within, I'm not talking about foreigners, like this is the peak. It's kind of crazy actually. HIV in Asia? Thanks, I've been good though, KT, man. Thanks for asking. I've been real good, bro. Real good. Plus, will you ever come back to Vietnam or? I'm not in the States. I've been back to Vietnam throughout the last like 5 months. I will never stay in Vietnam. Fuck that country. Fuck that. I can't continue those fucks because I'm gonna start saying things that'll literally get people in trouble. But no, I don't agree with that country. I'm not brainwashed. I'm not a shill. And I know what's happening. Bro, who's that? Fuck, you don't even know what's about to happen, bro. I know you want to ignore me. I know you want to live in this Evan fantasy. I get it. I understand. You're married. You're in deep. I get it. Dude, I understand you more than you understand your own situation. If anything, and this goes for KT too, man, have a backup plan and start now. I'm not saying prepare to use it, just have it. Where are you going to go back in America? What is your wife going to do? Where are your kids going to go to school? How much is it going to cost? What do they need to prepare for? Start doing this shit. I am telling you, Q3 2027 is going to be interesting. I'm not going to say shit because it's speculation. I know the codes are on paper. I'll tell you right now, in the next year, they're not making any new tax codes for foreigners. There's no retirement visa happening. And the TRC is going to get locked on even more. So have a plan B. Not saying you're going to leave it. You guys might actually live and die in Vietnam at old age. And I wish the best, but I'm telling you, bro, don't end up like Evan and Will's travel where you are literally stuck. Will can't afford to go back to California. And he's done live. She's saying he only has $8,000 and lives on fucking donations. And his girlfriend's Filipino. Evan's got a family of 4. He could barely afford Vietnam. He's living off YouTube spam. The dude drops 4 videos a day on random shit that makes no sense. These people are fucked. Look past the delusions, my friends. But have a plan B. Seriously, I've said this for 8 years. When I left America for the first time back in 2014, I had a plan B. It's still alive. But when you look at my videos from 2015, I'm living in Vietnam forever. I love it out here. That was me. I was that guy. But I always had a backup plan. I wasn't retarded. I was foolish, maybe. I was a little risk-taking. But I mean, back then, you could risk-take in Vietnam. You could pack your shit, move to Vietnam, and get a job. You know, when I got my first job, you know how I got it? I was at this spot getting my haircut, and next door I saw this thing. And these kids came up to me, hello, where you from? How old are you? You know, like basic Vietnamese English bullshit. English. Anyways, I looked next door, there's an English center there. They told me they went next door. I just walked in there. I had to go up these little stairs, talk to this lady. Some guy came down. He was a foreign guy. I was like, hey, man, where are you from? He's all from the UK, man. All right, cool. You guys hired here? Like, what is the money like? I never even thought about doing something like this. He's like, bro, you make like $2,500 a month. They pay your rent. The classes sometimes are 3 hours long, but I mean, you're just playing fucking games. It's chill, bro. How do you get hired? Just go to floor 5, dude. Talk to him real quick. So I ended up leaving. Came back like 5, 6. I was dating a girl at the time. And she's like, you should do it. It's easy money. Foreigners love it. So I went to floor 5, sat down, talked to this guy named Ken. Ironically, Ken. It was a Vietnamese guy, though. He graduated from an Australian university, came back to Vietnam, opened his English center. Within 15 minutes, I was hired. I didn't do a demo list, and we talked about Hawaii. The entire interview was talking about Oahu. He's like, I want to go to Waikiki one day. I'm like, it sucks ass, but you'll love it for a vacation, right? That was the conversation. I went home. Well, actually, I didn't. I met a girl in District 3, went to this coffee shop, and I got a text message. It was the contract. I went home that night. I said, yeah, this is cool. I'll come in tomorrow. We'll sign some shit. I'll bring you my passport. I went in the next day. They already had my schedule. Like, that's how easy it was back then. You can't do that no more. You can't just walk up in a bitch like, hey, I'm handsome. I'm from Hawaii, right? It doesn't work this way no more. So it's definitely got different. I believe, and I know everybody says this is the golden age of my time. They used to say back in the 30s in America, this is the best time to be alive. It was back then compared to 1910. I agree. And then you got the 60s. Everyone's like, the 60s is so much better than my parents had it. Best time to be alive, right? Then the 80s, 90s, 2000s. Now kids in 2025 are like, I want to run off a fucking bridge, right? Things are changing, but you get the point. Everyone always thinks they live in that best time. But I truly, without a shadow of doubt, feel like I lived in the final golden age of Vietnam, the final 10 years. What Vietnam is today is nothing. I remember back in 2014, you could buy a fucking 3-year business visa for like $200. And you don't even need a job. You don't got to prove shit. You just gave some agent $200, said fuck off. That was it. Stupid as fuck. I remember you could be, when I worked at the school, it was actually a friend of mine, Jordan, he's South African dude. He was 19, I think it was. He worked at this school as well. He was 19 and they got him a work permit for like 15 million VND. Let me say that again. He was 19 with a work permit. How do you get a work permit? You need a bachelor's degree. How does a 19-year-old have a bachelor's degree? And if you are 19 with a bachelor's degree, wouldn't you be very smart that you would stay in your country and make a lot of fucking money? You wouldn't be in a third world country teaching people how to say apple. You know what I mean? So Vietnam was very different back then. I would almost say it was more calm. The honky wasn't a big deal. The chaotic shit wasn't that bad. The drinking culture, the coffee culture is way different. Like now it's not the same. Like when people talk about the coffee culture in the last 3 years, it is not. It's just a bunch of shitty spots with random Vietnamese that speak a little English and have a pretty girl, right? Like it's not the same anymore, bro. Like Vietnam now sucks. Before, and really, I think the pandemic is what set it off because when everybody was locked down, this is when the government started fast forwarding the VidEID stuff. I know here David goes again. Where's the tinfoil hat? But that's when they really started. You got to understand, it took China like 20 years, 15, 20 years to make the social credit system what it is today. It took North Korea like 20 years to become a dictatorship that it is today, right? I'm getting messages to shut the fuck up right now. Well, fuck you guys. I'm not coming back. But the point being is what China and North Korea had to deal with was a lack of social media. No mass messaging and shit like that, right? Vietnam has the internet, has Zalo, has public announcements and shit like that. Like everything is connected so well that they went from China's day one idea of WeChat to what it is today. They were able to start day one to day fucking now in about a year and a half. They understand what VinEID is right now. If you guys do not think VinEID is a serious concern of human rights, you're fucking retarded. You are delusional. You are the same people that sat in Germany before the Holocaust happened, thinking, oh, everything's fine. You were the same people in North Korea 2 decades ago, thinking, oh, they're just giving us some free shit. We just got to give up this right. You were the same people in Hong Kong that thought China was going to oblige to the 50-year agreement. You were the same people. The writing is on the ceiling. They ran out of wall. It's on the ceiling. I'm not trying to sound like a doomsday person. Not at all. Just have a plan B. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's definitely getting crazy. But Vietnam has the internet. They have so many ways to amplify it. And during COVID, they were able to 0 to 100 that thing. Seriously. Look what's required. For a look, like, Follow, you're married. KT, you're married. Ask your wives, what's required on your VinEID? Fuck you. No, sorry. I mean, forget about what you're required to put on it. What are your wives required to put onto it? Ask them. I guarantee you it's everything. You know what? Make the conversation faster. Ask them what they don't have to upload onto it or confirm on it. They probably won't even say anything because there ain't nothing. Everything. Medical records, high school records, university records, medical records, driving records, criminal records, banking information, biometrics, SIM cards, rental agreements, Red Book information. If KT, Bob, you're married to them, right? They have you under their VinEID as a dependent source. Spouse, sorry, not source, spouse. It's crazy. People are just like, it's okay. And again, I'm not trying to sound crazy-ish. Anyways, weather's nice though. Cambodia, treated you well. Yeah, dude, I love it out here. There's a lot of liberals out here. Let me tell you that. You can't go anywhere without somebody trying to talk about LGBT rights or Trump. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, I do love, dude, I feel like I've de-aged and got healthier. I've lost like, what, 8 kilos or some shit? Hold on, where's my little app at? Remember, check out the app, man. HarunoFitness.com. And if you go right under it, my travel guide right here, 100% free. Just click it and it loads it on the website. Or loads it in the browser. You can download it right there. It's all free. It's all free, my brothers and sisters. Yeah. I was in EMG last year school. Yeah, EMG is pretty nice, man. We put out serving chopsticks or spoons for each dish served. It's because I feel the same way you do about food and health safety. Would someone tongue kiss a table? No, it's just, this is like a Chinese Vietnamese thing though. Like the whole, like in China, they do like community hot pots in like supermarkets. It's fucking weird. You might as well urinate in this shit and drink it. Like, I don't get it. Are you still living? No. I visit a lot, but no, I don't live there. Yeah, have your backup plan in progress, man. Have it, you should already be done. You should be like weekly refreshing it, whatever, I don't know. Told you. It's Chris. I need coffee now. That was it. That was good. Don't do it. Ooh. I don't know. Let's go. Got my dissolved black coffee, no sugar. But yeah, do it, bro. I have a plan to live in Vietnam forever. It's still always backup on things. Yeah. There's not a lot I can say, man. And the reason isn't because I don't want to get in trouble. That has nothing to do with it. I just don't know what's gonna stick. Like, understand. The TRC for marriage, that used to be 10 years, 5 years for most. I knew about this like 3 years in advance. When it came to the July 1st tax overhaul, I knew about this back in 2023. I was in some of the meetings. I do this shit. It was going on at MB Bank and a few other spots, these decrees. The thing about it though, is they kept getting changed. I knew about the LD1 visa that Evan, and I think even KT might have like mistakenly got looped into this shit, where they called it the golden visa. I knew about this almost 6 years ago. It was part of the FIFCA, was it called FICA, FIFCA or something like that? It was part of the financial expansion, because Vietnam knows their manufacturing GDP is going down. So they want to get into the Singapore and Bangkok financial sector. UD1, I guarantee you, none of you will get it. I'll put my life on that. It's intended for people in that sector. The people that get UD1 visas are going to be 40, 50-year-olds that have master's degrees that have been in finance for 10 to 12 years. Being financing engineers that work on databases, financial directly, economic specialists, yada, yada, yada. This is what UD1 visa is. Prove me wrong, I'll buy you a fucking house. I'll buy you 3. It's like Oprah today. Everything's free, but all of this stuff I knew about, but they changed a lot of shit. Remember UD1 used to be called ULD1. Remember the tax, like I can tell you this was actually a change. Before the PIT tax, which is personal income tax for Vietnamese, they are originally going to create a tax system that linked to your red book as a Vietnamese. So Vietnamese person that owns a house or lives somewhere, their tax ID was associated to the red book. And that's how they taxed you accordingly. That's how they followed you, right? And they found out that they couldn't really do this because what if a Vietnamese person buys a house and rents it to another family? Now you have 2 different registrations, the same house, technically under the tax ID, right? So they ended up changing to the PIT system, which you see today. And that's what passed there. So when I say, I wish I could tell you guys stuff, it's not that I'm hiding anything, not at all. It's just, I don't know if it's gonna stick. Vietnam is not very, they don't really talk to each other a lot within the ministries, to the point where there's like an open channel dialogue, right? And you gotta understand, Vietnam is a one-person state. It's not a communist 2-party. If you believe that, you're retarded again. Who is in charge of the Communist Party? This is the second highest, no, this is the first highest chair in Vietnam government. Who is in charge of that chair? Okay. Next question. The second highest seat in Vietnam government is the sitting president. Who's that? If you said the same person, good fucking job. Who tells the Communist Party leader no? The president does. Who tells the president no? The party leader. How do you tell yourself no when you want to do something? You see what I'm saying? So things are getting very expedited, and there's not a lot of say. Vietnam is not a democratic nation. It's a communist nation. Anybody saying socialist? Again, retarded. What's socialist about Vietnam? That the government employees get a $2 to $8 pension every month when they turn 75? Stop it. Don't do it. You could make friends easily at street side cafes then. CJ, man, what's up, man? Long time no see. Yeah. You can do that in America, though. Go to McDonald's and just say hi to somebody. Hey, bro, I like your shirt. You like Lakers, too? Man, stuff happened to Kobe. Kobe, right? You can do this anywhere. Like, I always hear, you know what's crazy? Is a lot of Americans say, in America, you can't talk to anybody. They're so isolated and rude. In Vietnam, you can. Shut the fuck up. Now, but during the whole FIFA, the football World Cup, right? You had millions of Europeans, no, thousands of Europeans making millions of videos saying how in America you could just talk to people. They're so friendly. In Europe, you can't. Starting to see the pattern of biasing? You know, Vietnamese say that about Vietnam. You can't talk to people in Vietnam. They're shady. They're crooked. But foreigners say you can because it's a different vibe when you're not part of that culture, right? Like if you live in America, you're going to get used to your neighborhood. You're going to know your neighbors. You're not going to be, hey, John, how's it going? Your daughter's getting pretty hot. And then they're like, yo, F, can you chill out with the jokes, dog? It's not funny. See what I did there? Anyways. Mal, what's up? Coffee time. Everyone get yours. Yes, sir. Is there a lot of street? Yeah, I think I don't know a lot about Cambodia. I know about Vietnam. I don't know about Cambodia. But in Vietnam, there's a governmental trend sentiment that we would watch, and this it was pretty much. There's a term for it. I don't know how to translate it. It's pretty much like the way the tsunami, economic tsunami, I guess. When a city starts getting a lot of street vendors, this is a red flag that there's something going on economically in the city. Maybe there's a lack of jobs, there's a poverty issue going on. Something's not functionally happening in that city that's good, right? The final straw is when there's more taxi drivers than there are customers. And I'm talking like a 10-to-1 ratio. You guys, I don't know if you guys have been to Da Nang in the last 18 months. It's mostly taxi drivers. Da Nang's economy is crashing. I don't know if anybody has told you this, but Vietnam's tourism is down drastically. The Russian tourism went up like 180%, but it's kind of leveling out now. And this is because the Russian war is calming down. So a lot of Russians are able to leave now. A lot of Ukrainians can leave now. Chinese tourists, they're seasonal people. They leave in certain seasons. They're not showing up as much. And despite what people say, Western people are not a big part of Vietnam's tourism. The total tourism window of Vietnam is about 8.9%, right? 9%, let's say. Out of that total 9% GDP of tourism, barely 3% of that are like white people, black people, Mexicans, Arabs, Africans, real Africans, right? The rest of them are Korean, Singapore, Taiwanese, Japanese, and Chinese, and Indian, sorry. That's all of them, man. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, you see in Da Nang, it's all taxis, bro. When I moved there wasn't actually a lot. And I remember I was talking to, so I have a few of my friends that work at the Da Nang International School. They work with the dean. And that was actually a nice hookup though. I was able to investigate or at least dig into English centers in Da Nang on how it works. So there's only like two main ones. I think it's called Blue Diamond and ILA. ILA shut down two of them last year, I think, two of their centers because they couldn't maintain a balance sheet anymore. But in Da Nang, they only hire Russians. If anyone tells you, sell everything, move to Da Nang to be an English teacher, when you get to Vietnam, find that person and slap them. Okay, don't hurt nobody. Digitally slap them with an emoji because they lied to you. There's no jobs out there, bro. It's very rare. I think Blue Diamond, I think it's called. They're the only ones that hire foreigners, but they hire like one. So it's a revolving door. But yeah, on subject though, when you see a lot of taxis, the economy's cracked. What I'm noticing right now in Cambodia over the last 5 months, the street vendors are quadrupling right now. It's actually, when you go down the beach area, it is fucking wall to wall now. When I first moved here the first couple months, it wasn't that bad. And it was like summer, like now it's getting rainy season, winter, and there's like quadruple the number. It's crazy, dude. It's very crazy. So yeah, there's a lot of barbecue. I think most of it is. It's a lot of Muslim barbecue joints. Yeah, that's really all it is. Like there's a massive Islamic group in Kampot. They actually just opened a mosque down the road from me. It's just far enough to not hear them. It's like 8 times a day, bro. It's worse than Vietnamese karaoke. And it's just all the time. It's like 4 a.m. it's blaring, but I'm just far enough to not hear it. Like if I go outside and walk up the road to go to the store, then I hear it. But yeah, there is a lot. Coffee time! Don't do it. What is this?
Especially America.
What about you?
First country, the Chinese.
China.
She wants to go to Chinese. Like even their education is retarded. I want to go to Chinese. I want to go to Africans. I'm trying to think of a country that's big. The continent with countries, right? I thought they hated China. What happened there?
Well, and the streets are completely empty. Anyone's taking their lunchtime naps. But we're gonna take like a
So lazy. I to this day give every Vietnamese person I know shit for that. Oh, I gotta go to sleep. I'm so tired. Fucking baby. To this day.
All right. We'll map again as we do in the countryside here in Vietnam.
Yeah, I mean, the food's good. Don't get me wrong. Vegetables, fried eggs. That's way too much rice. This is a problem with Vietnam food. Yeah, like this is disgusting, bro. They're just like spitting on everything and eating it. It's disgusting. Yeah, there's way too much. She has nasty dentures.
Just the cultural. So
Yeah, they eat so much rice. What is rice? It's gluten, carbohydrates, and starch, right? It's like a triple sugar. I mean, obviously, it's got some value being a carbohydrate for your body, but they will eat like seven bags of like 7 bowls of it for dinner sometimes. It's crazy. Like, I'm actually kind of curious. So, a cup of rice, right? Without being cooked. So, let's say nutrient facts of 1 cup of like, how do you weigh that or measure that? So if it's cooked, it's in a cup, right? So Vietnamese, I'm trying to be realistic here. So hear me out for a second. So a bowl, those little bowls that they have, it's about 3/4 the cup, right? So I would say a Vietnamese on average eats like 3 cups of rice per meal. Pretty common. Where's the little AI thing? Bastard. Yeah, see, look at this, 725 calories. Carbs, pure carbs, no fiber, it's pure sugar, let's be honest. This isn't actually that true. I've looked into some of this, a lot of rice doesn't even have, brown rice has a lot of like minerals and stuff. This seems like it's brown rice though, because niacin is in brown rice, I know that. Yeah, the point being, an average meal for a Vietnamese person, when it comes to rice, it will be 725 calories just for the rice part. Think about this, like calculator. 725 divided by 155. 155 is the amount of calories per beer of a 330 milliliter. So every meal, they typically are drinking 4.7 cans of beer in calorie content. So they're drinking like 14 cans of beer every day, hypothetically, right? 3, 6, 9. So let's say let's say 10 round up. Nah, let's be realistic, because some people do eat less, I know. So we're looking ideally about 2,000 calories daily is what an average Vietnamese person sucks down in just rice. But this isn't abnormal. Like, if you guys are living in Vietnam, watch, just pay attention. Most, like, women will typically have 1 or 2 bowls. The guys might do a third, because they always ask you, they always force feed you more rice. Like, if your bowl gets empty, they give you more. If the Vietnamese logic behind this is if you have more rice, you eat less meat and shit like that, right? Because usually, like, if we look at this, look, let's go back. Can we see the food? Is she pregnant?
do what? There's like lots of fish, but nobody. So you was.
Where's the food? She's got nasty dentures. They kind of like, you can see the dentures are pushing her jawline up. She's one of these aunties that you would see that sends her kids abroad and uses the money to like impress other people. She gives me that vibe. I'm trying to get the food in the picture here.
All right.
There we go, there we go. So we have some kind of like beef, pork, maybe soup. It looks like pork, morning glory, and then that fish cake. I forget the name of that. Oh, that's a sour shit. And then a shit ton. Look at all that rice, dude.
The map again.
And then just like cucumbers and lettuce. So there's almost nothing in their meal. It's soup. And that's the thing, like Vietnamese food on paper is super healthy. It's just vegetables and meat. It's just the rice though, bro. It's too much, dog. You cannot be eating 4 bowls of fucking rice. If you order takeaway in Cambodia, this is something I noticed. They have the clamshells. They load it with rice. It's like 4 cups of rice for one meal. It's insane. Yeah, check out his channel. This guy's actually, I like this guy. He shows Vietnam better than almost any other person in Vietnam as an expat. Jason Derulo. What's up, bruh? Tony, what's up? Yeah, I'll actually show you guys like some FDI locations too here in a minute. Because Vietnam is getting nasty when it comes to like the air quality. What is this? Oh, yeah. This guy, what did he talk about? Anything intelligent or another day? You know what's always funny to me? I just saw this all lies. Where'd he go? I just saw someone said all lies. I can't find it now. But I always find it funny. I think Evan did a few videos like this saying expats are lying to you about retirement. And then he does a video lying to you. The hypocrisy, my dudes. Yeah, this guy's retarded. I don't even care, dude. Like, I don't understand. I gotta learn to be a fucking scam artist. I gotta go be a car salesman for a year to learn the game. It's so weird to me. What is this? Why I left Mexico? Why would he leave Mexico, bro? I hear Mexico City is getting expensive. I think Mexico has better health standards. Yeah, I got friends in New York that bought property out in Mexico City that live out there, and they say it's getting a little more pricier. I mean, it's part of the Americas. It's always gonna have that tag. Healthcare is ass in Vietnam. I don't know, man. I've never seen one of her videos. She was just like gaslighting the fuck out of Vietnam. These people are weird. What hotel is this? Hold on. It was like Starfish something, but yeah, they got raided. It's a couple days ago. Bruh. You know when people message you weird shit? They're gonna eat that dog one day. It's sad. It's so funny, they can't beat China. Vietnam's team is good because half their fucking roster are like Brazilians and shit. Japanese people don't understand. Oh, I remember this one. Somebody sent it to me. I want to talk about this. Is funny. There's a lot of propaganda with Vietnamese people attacking Japan right now, saying that Japanese are ungrateful pieces of shit. Because when Vietnamese want to sit outside with loud karaoke in Japan and be loud as fuck for 7 hours straight, Japanese people are getting upset. Imagine doing Vietnam's culture in America. You'd be shocked. The neighbor would come over with his sod off and be like, bro, you shut this off or I shut it off. Like, it would actually be pretty devastating. No roach coach in Vietnam. I mean, they technically are. Over 7 million views for a Japanese post that is condemning a few Vietnamese people for living in a picnic in front of what looks like a door of a... Yeah, see, this shit isn't normal, though. How loud is it? Where's the sound? Yeah, this is like an apartment area, so they're just gonna leave trash everywhere. They're probably yelling. Mohai. Yeah, I don't know. Japan's a very modest country. Like, you wouldn't go to Singapore everywhere and start pissing all over the place like you do in Vietnam, right? Japan is just a they're a very conservative culture. Like, they don't go out, one thing I remember there, and it honestly annoys me back then because they're always apologizing. It pisses me off. Yo, you got a nice. You get that from? Oh no. My shirt. No, your shirt look amazing. It fits so well. It's like, I just want to know what shirt you have, bro. Like, they're so nice. So when they go there, you get Vietnamese going there. I gotta switch this real quick. Acting like Vietnam. I get it. Because this isn't how Japanese people act. This isn't civilized. Dang. I want to find that hotel real quick. No. Whatever, dude, let's go. The hotel that had this thing going on. Don't do it. Let's be real. Cheapest. I miss roach coaches. $15. The fuck? It's getting expensive over there, bro. $9? Wait, what? Oh, it's for 2 days. No, it's not. Oh, 2 adults. Sorry, let me update that. I was like, 15 a day seems a little off. Because we're brokies, I'm a loser back home. There we go. There we go. Yeah, this hotel right here. This is like a hostel that hoards Arabs and Europeans that just live on visa runs. I'm not even joking. I know that sounds rude. Some of you are like, oh yeah, racist. No, fuck yourself. It's literally what it is. Yeah, it's like this hallway's just covered in like shoes and like bad smells. Oh, this is like right outside the main road. Bathrooms do not look like that. They're destroyed. Anytime you see a grown man do that sign, he doesn't have a girlfriend. Or at least one that loves him. Yeah, this place is like a shithole, man. But it's like the cheapest. But yeah, I don't know. It has a lot of visa run. If you go there, dude, I think if I went back to Da Nang tomorrow and went there, I'd probably see the same fucking people. Because like I went there like I think the gap was like 2 years or some shit like that, and I saw the same 2 Arab dudes there. There's these 2 Muslim guys that are constantly like praying on the outside the front area. But yeah, they always sit there. But yeah, back to this stuff. I bet the comments are insulting Japan. Everybody shills for Vietnam. Wait, where's the article? Oh, here it is. To add content, Japan, you do your best to not spill your presence to the others. Yeah. In this case, they are in front of people's apartments, and even conversational level spills through the doors easily. Yeah, that's one thing about like Japan and condos and apartments. The walls are thin, bro. They are really thin. And then the comments like, where are you sitting in Japan? At a fucking restaurant, you dumb fuck. Go to a park, I don't know. Here it is. You know how anytime anyone complains about things in Vietnam and a bunch of folks, I'm going to say foreigners, say things like, you come to the country, you need to expect the way things are done here and the culture. Meaning, if you come to Vietnam as a Westerner, respect the culture and shut the fuck up. Yet, when Vietnamese go to Japan and act like fucking uncivilized donkeys, it's now offensive? I wonder if people, I bet people said, you don't understand Vietnam. Japanese in Saigon have no problems with local culture and often say that they never come back to Japan. That is false. I actually worked with quite a few Japanese in District 7. They worked at the Intel plant. I also worked with a shit ton. Well, no. Let me say that. I worked with a few Korean people in Hanoi, but I lived in Koreatown, so I was around a shit ton of Japanese and Koreans. Majority of them hate it. They hate the noise, they hate the pollution, they hate the rudeness. They don't like it, bro. But the money's good because they go there to work at these factories as like managers and engineers. They're making like 80 to 150 million VND a month to live in Vietnam as a Korean or Japanese. They're making like double a teacher, triple a teacher. But yeah, a lot of my Japanese friends, they laugh because I was like, what do you do? They're like, oh yeah, I wake up every morning, take my kid to the school, blah, 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 and I get to work and I babysit. I usually wake up all the staff because they're sleeping. We have to check pockets. We have metal detectors at the factories because they always steal shit. They're usually sleeping in corners. We have to re-verify paperwork because they just sign shit and they don't even do it. Dude, the amount of complaining is actually funny because they're always trying to find like a shortcut. Like they say in China, if you can cheat, then cheat. Isn't that the phrase in China? I thought I had that like image somewhere. If you can cheat, then cheat. It's like a Chinese phrase. Vietnam does it too. I'm trying to see if I have it. Oh, my life. Just a fun reminder, if you're using Zalo, you're being TikToked. Yeah, see, this is the thing too. They're doing this to Vietnamese. They're going to universities and harassing people for registration. Look how they like do a photo up to look cool. Fuck these people. This is in Saigon. I can't find it. I'm over it. Yeah, man. Vietnamese are one of they are the majority of crime in Japan. They're also only 3%. It is funny though that it's funny in Vietnam that people complain. If you don't like it, leave. To be fair, Japanese are racist. Jesus Christ. This guy wrote a fucking chapter. Interesting enough, shut up. This guy is like a waste of life. Here it is. Drunk scene karaoke. Enter the chat, yo. Oh, here it is. No, they may not understand your culture, but they shouldn't be expected to adjust to it since it's their homeland. Ah! So the next time you see a fucking foreigner, like army guy or something, the foreigners, send them this fucking chat. Send them this chat. Send all these people that chat. Because now that Vietnamese are acting like monkeys in Japan, the Japanese are the bad people. This is actually funny. They wouldn't blanket the Japanese. Yeah, they would. Yeah, see, this is different. Japanese men are pretty known to be alcoholics, but they usually get drunk, take taxi rides home, or pass out on the side of the road next to the hooker street in Tokyo. I've seen a many of these. But they're not obnoxious, man. And if they are, people get upset. It's like in Singapore. If you're running around yelling, people will tell you to shut the fuck up or they'll call the police on you, right? Like, you can't just act a fool. It's sad Japanese don't pick, these people are dumb. The Vietnam shill level is out of control. Starfish Alley is a dump of a hostel, yeah. It's also a dump. It's a good word. Ni hao ba. Honking has calmed down. If you don't like the culture, leave. Riding around like retards. This is an American image. No, false. This is actually false. China invaded Vietnam in '79 for a day to prove to Russia they weren't aligned with them. They came in, they blew the fuck up out of the city, and they left on their own fruition. Vietnam cannot fight. I don't give a fuck what people say. They beat the French a long time ago. That was it. They didn't beat America. America left in '73. The war continued for 2 years. The only ones they beat are French and themselves. Who won the Vietnam War? Vietnam won. Okay, who lost? America. But America left in '73 and the war continued for 2 years. If you get in a fight at school with a bully and you beat him up and he's on the ground, do you just keep swinging for no reason? No. The fight's over, right? Which means that the fight wasn't over. So who was fighting for 2 extra years? It's an interesting thing. The ones that lost the Vietnam War were South. The party won. Come on, guys. You guys know this. It's in the history books, though. It's in the history books. Yeah, beautiful day. Da Nang is a nice city, though. I like Da Nang. Yeah, this is just propaganda. I'm sure it's a bunch of fucking foreigners. Ah, I had sex with a Vietnamese girl once. She said I was handsome. I support this. Like, what is all this garbage? Such a badass country. Who's trying to occupy Vietnam? You know, I dug into this, like, it was like 6 years ago. But I always hear foreigners say Vietnam is the most occupied attempted country in the world. And they fought them all off. Like, really? Who? It's only really been China, France, and Japan to an extent. Like, America never tried to occupy it. Russia never tried. The USSR never tried. They tried to prevent shit. I don't agree. Like, the Vietnam War, Russia, USSR, or whatever it was back then, was really trying to hold communism down. They were a support hand for that. America didn't want it because all of Asia was communist pretty much. Thailand was independent. So they couldn't depend on Thailand as a good trade hub. Vietnam was it. And to keep it non-communism was the goal. Why does nobody like read anything? If you want to know about the war, read about the French side, the Chinese side, definitely read the USSR side. Read the North Vietnam and the South. You know, that's a crazy thing too. The North and South Vietnam history books, they changed them back in like 80 something, but they were polar different. The North were praising Ho Chi Minh, how he saved the South. The South, it talked about the what is her name? The Princess Saigon Queen. I forgot her name. She was friends with JFK's wife. But it talked about all this. They ended up burning all those books and banning them. Nobody knows what South Vietnam was like before the war because they're not allowed to know. They had the bet. No, they didn't. Yeah, see, this is dumb. And when he came back to the push-off, Coachy, yeah, this is during the American intervention too. I believe Europe got him. Didn't France get involved with this one? Yeah, I don't agree. And before everybody gets mad, I don't think America does a lot of good shit either. And I think America's lost like the last like what 3 wars, or at least walked away with their tail behind their tail between their legs. Not saying America's better. Honestly, I think the last couple of wars have been fucking retarded. I mean, minus the Iran one, I understand it. Because Iran's just nuking everybody. They're just like, missiles for everybody. Like, if you guys get bored, look at the Dubai or the UAE media. All it's talking about now is Iran attacking them. It's not American propaganda. It's Islamic news media. Nobody talks about that though. Hawking has calmed down. It's gotten even better. No, they're not. I think the younger generation are dumber. Mostly because of social media addiction. But I will say the honking does seem like in some parts of like Saigon and stuff are slowing down. But Steam doesn't work. Oh! Assaulted. Fake. This is fake. Vietnam's got the nicest country in the world. Yeah. Vietnam reject letter. Dude, the rain is nuts. Yay. You know, I'm gonna be like racist for 12 seconds. I think the Chinese, the original version of this is that Lao dress, isn't it? Oh, yeah, okay. But I think the Chinese one looks better. I don't even know what it's called. Chinese female dress. I don't even know what it's called. I don't speak China. But I think it looks better. Yeah, this one. Like this little yeah, this one. I think this looks better. This is pretty much the same thing. They just the Vietnam one separated the bottom. Yeah, I like this one. I honestly prefer the Chinese one. But the French took this and they adjusted it to make it more conservative. You got the little Chun-Li Kung Fu version. I like it though, man. Assaulted. Is that it? There's no story? Oh. Drive-by nunchucking. $3 a.m. I don't think the parents care about their kids, bro. I get it though. If you want a bike in Vietnam, you want to go like 3 a.m. because you're not going to deal with fucking traffic. But yeah, that's crazy, bro. There was an old guy a long time ago. They robbed him and threw him in the Saigon River. The guy was like 70 something. Maybe it was like 5 years ago. Yeah. Stupid. What is this? Couple took my shopping bag in Saigon. Hoping they see this and return it. Whatever. You know when you like check this out. You know when you go to like a Lotto Mart, you know, like the bigger shopping markets in Vietnam. If you go to like electronics, you notice they follow you. They do this because Vietnamese people steal shit. I'm not even joking. It's actually it's annoying as fuck. Because they'll just follow you like a creep. But dry banana paper. Oh, you put it in your fucking mouth. Bro. Okay, this is the last one for this. This stuff's stressful. Name 10 food. You know, Vietnam only has like 7 types of food. I think it's like I forget. It's like 6 or 7, but it's just very like think of pho. Pho is noodles. Get over it, bro. It's soup. Tell a Vietnamese person pho is soup, and they'll lose their fucking minds. It's actually, I don't know why, but it pisses them off. What's your favorite food? I like the beef noodle soup. Pho. It's not soup. It's kind of funny, but they get angry. I don't get it. I really don't know why. I was looking forward to all the foods in Vietnam. However, it was a letdown. The food was either just okay, even at the restaurants that family members, but in Saigon, or just very terrible. I went to Saigon and Danang and then Viet. Oh, it's up in the north side. I think North Vietnam food's the best because it's more herbal. It tastes much better than Vietnamese food in the U.S. I'm not sure if my taste buds. I think Vietnamese food outside of Vietnam tastes better because it's just got hygienic laws and it's fresher. Vietnam food is just like the problem in Vietnam is there's no hygienic laws. It's dirty sometimes. They're picking their nose. They put their feet on the tables they cook on. Yeah, now you're just getting people fucking offended. I think Manhattan has good pho. Yeah, it does. San Jose is a big Hmong community in Chinese. Yeah, I'd say Orange County is a big one. Dallas is fucking Vietnam / illegal Mexican town. If you think that's racist, go talk to a Texan and shut up. Saying you're a foodie is so, now they're just getting mad at him. That's cute. How many calories have I burned today doing nothing? I burned 879 calories today. This is like resting calories. Remember, free travel guy, baby. Bruno Fitness, get it. Oh, I was going to show you guys the FDIs. So FDI is this factory. The government sells land to foreigners to build factories, yada, yada, yada. You know. You know. Acting like you don't know. Boom, shakalaka. But if we look, all right, so Saigon. Done for Saigon. So Din Bin is a big one, or Dong Hoi. Where you at? Check right in this area. So anyways, I'll just show you the overall. So the reason I show this with you guys is it's going to show probably by next year, because they're starting to turn some of these factories on. Next year, the air quality in Vietnam is going to get fucking cooked. Dong Nai City. This is a big, dude, there's a lot of job postings all over Vietnam social medias trying to get English teachers to go here. Do not go there. There's a reason they keep posting. This place is a shithole. It is pure factory city. The air is probably worse than Hanoi most of the time. Children getting lung and respiratory cancers is not abnormal in this city. If you want to visit, go for it. Do not live here, bro. No. Anyways, most of Dong Nai in this area up here, right near this river area, is massive FDI. Some FDIs are using this river to do hydro generation. During the Iran war, when it started, a lot of these FDIs, especially Korean and Singapore companies, started realizing that Vietnam isn't sufficient enough on crude oil. So when a war happened, Vietnam was running out of shit real fast, right? They ran out of jet fuel. They started running out of crude oil. And they started siphoning it from the locals. Like, this is why you saw gas stations in Saigon and shit getting shut down. They were moving that petrol or that crude oil over to the FDIs because they were guaranteed this shit during contracts. But this is a big part of it here. If we over here, Lazi, let me give you a better reference. Vung Tau up to Phan Thiet. This whole area right here is turning into farmland and dry factories like textiles and stuff like that. And I can show you a few actually. I had some friends taking pictures some time back. Yeah, here's like 7 pictures. Boom! So you notice these are all Chinese ran areas. This is all from Lazi up to Phan Thiet. All Chinese. These are farms that majority of these farms, when they produce the food, the profits gets sent back to China, so does the food. This food is not for Vietnamese people for the most part. Understand that. Another Chinese one. And these are all joint ventures for the most part, meaning they're government affiliated through the VCP and the CCP. And most of these farmers are older than that, but most of these farmers are typically Chinese. They'll bring Chinese here to work. This is, if you live in a Haiphong city, it's a port, southeast of Hanoi. It is pretty much a Chinese town. All the factories that are hired bring Chinese over. It's cheaper. Another Chinese. Again, these are all factories. I'm sorry, these are all farms. Another one. This is looks like a dairy and jackfruit. Another one. But yeah, all these farms in this area they're pretty much all fucking Chinese. And most of it goes back to China. And if you guys can from here to here, sorry. You guys can cross references too. Look at where China gets most of their imports from. If you guys watch China shows and shit like that, ask them, where does China import most of their food from? They better be saying Vietnam. If they don't, they're either just saying random shit or they're not taking the facts. It mostly comes from Vietnam. And they're Chinese factories. Oh, just a reminder, always use VinFast. Going up here. So yeah, you guys know Mui Net. This place is pretty, I would honestly say Phan Thiet up to, I mean, most of this is safe. There are quite a few factories near the Lao border. This is where the Ho Chi Minh Trail thing is, up here somewhere. But a lot of this stuff is kind of like just mostly open-end farms and stuff like that. You have like tactile stuff here and there. But when you get up here, here's where you get a lot of like the tourism. This is a lot of French and Chinese tourist areas. This is a beautiful beach area, dude. This is like not really where a lot of foreigners go. It's fucking gorgeous though. Quan Ninh, this place, this beach is probably the cleanest beach in Vietnam, hands down. But I've noticed a lot of YouTubers are starting to talk about this place. So maybe it turns to shit. Because even Will Travel went there to do a video about it. This has to be the cleanest like beach area in Vietnam, hands down. Better than anywhere else. Even the water doesn't feel like oil's in it. But still pretty clean. Once you get up here past the sand dune area, this is where a couple French islands are at. Right here. This is like the French island areas. I've done so much traveling, it's retarded. You get to Da Nang. So you get to right about, I would say right here, this is where Quang Ngai is and whatnot. All of this is mostly FTI Tactile Factory, furniture, assembly, and shit like that. And when you get to Da Nang, and this is where I've had people tell me, I live in Hoi An, everything's perfect. Hoi An's actually getting excavated. They're starting to move a lot of the farms from Hoi An up to this area of Da Nang. And they're going to start expanding Hoi An probably in the next 3 to 5 years. A lot of these are already confirmed by Vingroup. So don't give me this, the government changing their mind. Vingroup's already put their money on the table. So Hoi An's going to get their own little amusement park. I don't know if it's going to be the same as what they're doing in Da Nang right now, but they are building it. But from Quang Ngai all the way to here, this is a lot of tactile furniture assembly. You guys know the Honda SH, right? The Vietnam edition, where they assemble it from Honda. This is in some of these areas, you'll get some of these assembly plants here, stuff like that. But that's all that. Da Nang's air quality is probably going to go down probably by 2028, I would say. Because they're going to be, once they finish all the projects, because what they're going to be doing is setting a bunch of factories. Where is it? Where's Bana Hills? Yeah, Bana Hills. So they're going to be doing, they're going to be doing a bunch of, my mouse just flipped out. Hold on. Yeah. So they're going to be doing a bunch of factories like in this general area and then right in this general area. And then Hoi An is going to start getting removed. They're going to start moving a bunch of those farms up here most likely. They've already started doing a lot of it. You guys have heard the stories about the Vietnamese getting relocated out of Da Nang and stuff like that over the last like about 8 months, I think it is. This is why. Isn't it crazy the dots coming together? Hue is the crack fentanyl capital of Vietnam. They overtook District 4 Saigon. When you get to all this shit, this is a lot of this. There's a couple oil factories up here. I'm not going to say where because the Vietnam Navy's branched in two of them. I don't know if that's illegal to say where they are. I'm just not going to say it. I will say Vung Tau has one, but that's a public amusement park at this point. Everybody knows about that. But yeah, there's a couple refinery areas up in this general area where they have the bases here. There's this town called Samsung. Yeah, right here, Samsung. This area, all the way down to about here. Well, there's that right about here, maybe. I know this might not even make sense, but a lot of it is like manufacturing for crude oil and shit like that. The air quality is bad, bro. Dude, you don't want to live in this general vicinity of Vietnam. And then when you go up, you go to Vinh City. Where's Vinh City at? Should be just south. And then you get Hai Phong. Hai Phong is going to turn into a shithole soon. They're building a train station, or I'm sorry, like a railroad program from China to Hai Phong. Probably finishing here in a couple of years. It's that Belt and Road program the new president just signed. It's going to turn Hai Phong into a Chinatown full of pollution. Trust me. And Ha Long Bay is like the #1 tourist destination for Chinese people. Even though you see them all in Da Nang, Ha Long Bay is the spot. And then all this shit, most of this is where most of Vietnam's farms, a lot of the farming is. You got Sapa, sorry. You have like Sapa, Lai Châu, you have Sun La down here somewhere. Lao Cai is right over here somewhere. But this is mostly farm. If you were gonna move somewhere in Vietnam, you just want to be away from air quality issues, probably up here. But you're gonna deal with like noise pollution. But yeah, I would say by the end of next year, there's going to be a massive difference in Saigon, Da Nang, and Hai Phong when it comes to air quality. It's going to get bad. It's already bad, but it's going to get bad. Civilized. Remember, come to Vietnam and respect the culture and act like them. Just start pissing on everything. See what they say to you. China. Kent Dome reminds me of Andrew Tate's lawyer. Ninja teacher. Oh, I want to see what she said about like teaching. I think his TEFL program is probably legitimately good. I don't see why not. I had somebody send me the curriculum that he uses. It seems really good. I mean, you get you a TEFL, you can get notarized in Vietnam, which is nice. Currently teaches 18 hours a week. That's pretty normal. Comparing it to America, I mean, America's not a third world country. Imagine living in a third world country where you make more than like literally everybody. This girl's from Sun La, but you make more money than anybody in the country, including the people. And you talk about, yeah, free time. That's like Bill Gates moving to Chicago or Detroit. Be like, hey, it's so safe out here. Like, motherfucker, you're rich. You don't live where we live. Oh, we just missed his live stream. We could have said hi to him.
Still on the electric scooter?
I think we're almost done here, boys. New teaching method as discussed. Metaverse teaching. That's fucking dystopia. They're using avatars to teach Jesus, dude. That's dystopia, dude. That's crazy. I want to hear that. Does the guy speak English?
Metaverse.
So quiet. That's I don't know if you guys are teachers. Is this something happening? I've never heard of this in Vietnam. This is real? That's a dystopia, dude. Did I get all these Kumentes?